Good morning, everyone. Bear with me another 3 minutes. I literally 5 minutes ago remembered I forgot an arc. So just making one addition. Give me 3 minutes. Okay, we are ready. Thank you so much, everyone, for bearing with me. Hello. Hello, everyone. It seems as though Streamlabs is having a bit of a difficult time, so it's not showing us our alerts on stream. However, we keep moving. This has happened many times before. So sorry, but thank you for the resubs. I'm sorry they didn't come up on screen. Thank you for the resubs. Soul Samurai, thank you for the 40 months. Thank you so much. Tomorrow comes. JJK shirt, you think you'll see some JJK arcs today? We'll see. Thank you so much, Soul Samurai. Thank you so much, Tarnished. Cal, thank you very much, Cal, for the 45 months at tier 3. I'm so glad you could catch this. That's awesome. I'm so excited for... I love how Power Flare always comes in with the, I saw you. How's it going, guys? Thank you so much, Cal. Also, I saw your recent posts about the gym and stuff like that, so sorry to bring it up here, but I think that's amazing, so congrats, and keep it up. It's inspirational for me. Sorry, one sec, let me just close the window. Okay. Okay. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Chero, thank you, Chero Set, for the 32 months with Prime. I'll have to leave soon, but can't wait to see the full list. Beautiful. It'll be available on the VODs. It'll be available on the ARC lists, as always. But yes, I know, it stuck with me too, Powerplay. Excuse me. So, welcome everyone to something I never thought I'd ever do. Which is, thank you, Grootly, which is, a stream series. We're gonna be having a couple of streams ranking my favorite Animanga arcs of all time. There are some ground rules or like housekeeping things to let you know about with regards to this list. A few things of note that I just noted down that I want to say before we start, but that's it. Music not showing. I'll fix it in a sec. Again, sorry guys, the resubs are not showing up, but thank you for the hype train. Thank you so much. We'll see, Sarah. We'll see. Again, do I think it'll be spoil heavy? Just hold on. That's included in all the housekeeping stuff. So I'll talk about everything I want to say beforehand. Oh, sorry, the music is just too loud. Sorry, that was probably drowning me out a bit. I have a bunch of things I want to say about this list and about these streams, and if you have further questions after that, feel free. But spoilers are included. Spoilers are included in the topics. I'm not saying I'm going to spoil everything in this list. Sounds good, Fluffy. Breaking the floor, beautiful. Glad to be your breaking the floor noise. Yeah, guys, I am so excited. I'm so excited for today's stuff, and I can't wait to share. Essentially, whenever I do one of these ranking streams, I am sharing a part of myself and something I put a lot of work into to sort of parse out what I feel about certain types of stories versus others, what I value the most, and ultimately just what I love. You know, some people think that rating things is like stupid and not worthwhile, and loses the magic of what stories are. And I get that, everyone's different, but for me, I mean, you guys know me. Do you think that I have stopped enjoying stories because I rank stuff? No. If anything, it helps categorize my preferences and see how I evolve over the years even better. Oh, I'm ready for it, Nero. I'm ready. What's up, Sebastian? Welcome in. It's a way to reflect. It's a way to reflect. It's a way to see what you value. It's a way to compare with others and talk about it. It's just I love ranking stuff. I love ranking fictional stuff. I always have. So that's what a lot of these streams have been about, and that's what we're gonna do today. Thank you, Unlucky Emperor, for the 26 months. Hard task today, AJ. Good luck. Hope everyone's doing good. Thank you very much. It is a hard task, but we did do it. We did do it. Very nice, Gil. Very nice. Choo-choo. I have no idea, Cal. Oh, no. I get that. I totally get that right. Arc ranking is so tough. And I literally thought it was impossible until a couple months ago, when, shout out to Fiji inspired me to do it. And I made it a donation goal, and you guys did it. Yeah, I'll explain. I'll definitely, as always, I'll explain my thoughts and why maybe if you have questions about why one arc is higher than the other. In some cases, I just won't have an answer. It's just like an emotional thing. It's just what felt right. But in others, I'm sure I can explain why. And this will be very much... You guys remember my Deuteragonist list? That was lots of fun, but it was a nightmare. It was a shit show. That shit, do not look at that list. It's not indicative of anything about me. No, it's indicative of a couple things about me, but you know. This is very much like the arc rank... like the top 100 list. This is structured, I have it all ranked out. It's just like that. I hope no one in here starts being negative about your opinions. They will, because that always happens, but that's fine. Like, that's fine. Thank you very much, Grootly. The vast majority of everyone is going to be very respectful and nice about it, so I appreciate that, and it's just how it is. Whenever ranking comes up, people get upset about one thing or another. And that's fine. I don't know if you guys heard, but literally as the stream was starting, I'm like, shit, I forgot one. So I forgot two rather. So I actually, started this stream with 69. No, I started this stream with 72. Sorry, with 70, and now we're actually gonna have 72. Nice, I know. Not nice anymore. No, you know what? Okay, let me wrap with you guys. I think it's gonna go down to 70, actually. I did have to change one thing. But I'll mention it in a second. It'll make sense. Can you see this becoming an annual thing, too? Maybe. It depends on how many changes there are. I won't force it. But we'll see. Hunter exam is out of here. Couldn't I just put some filler so we get 100? Why would I put filler in a list that's meant to be, like, encapsulating of my absolute favorites? Yes, miss, stream just started, so I'm just saying hi to everyone, and, you know, just give me a second. Thank you, Red One, for the 17-month resub. Hey, AJ, tried to make one of these myself, and it was genuinely impossible for me, so I hope it went well for you. We did it. I'm happy to say that we did it, and it's done. And it's done, and I'm very satisfied with it, and I'm excited to share it. I don't know if the process went well, but it's done. It went. Thank you, Heartbeat, for the stream streak. Thank you, Emmy, for the streak. Welcome in, Hentai Fan. Rated Character Dynamic, Chihiro and Kunishige, double S. And Mist has added Mobile Suit Gundam 1979 to my plan to watch. So, Mist, just shoot me a DM to remind me, and I will add that right after stream. Did I limit inclusions or no limitations? Again, I have a lot of stuff to talk about. That's part of it. Hello, Sultan. Oh, yeah, Dave? You were limiting it to 2 per series. Interesting. Hello, Yuki. Will there be honorable mentions? There will be. There will indeed. Quite a few. Quite a few. So, let me actually just start the ground rules, because a lot of people are asking about them. I would vibe with Gundam. Cool. Cool. I liked the... What is it? Witch of Mercury? I like that one. What's up, Gio? How difficult was this list? It's the hardest list I've ever done. Sounds good, Sultan. Okay, so let me just get these... Let me just do these rules, because I think they'll answer a lot of questions that people are curious about. Thank you again for the resubs, guys, and thank you... Oh, yeah, that was it. Perfect. So, number 1. There is not one... I am not limiting per series. I'm not doing 1 per series, 2 per series, even 3 per series. I'm not limiting per series. Straight up, if I gave you guys a list that I limited per series, it would be a lie. It wouldn't be truthful about my actual tastes, and at that point I'd be like, why am I actually showing you this list? Because I'm telling you right now, if I have a top 70 arc list, and there are not multiple high-Q arcs within it, it is not an AJ list. It simply isn't. It simply isn't. So, I'm not limiting per series. That means there will be a lot of repeat series. I mean, you guys know me. There will be a lot of repeat series. That's just how it is. I have my favorites, you know. You guys, I'm sure you guys would expect that. So that's one thing. I'm not doing 1 per series. I understand why people do, but personally, I don't like to do that for my lists. National or challengers? Are they on the list? We'll see. Me too, Ray. Me too. I've tried it in the past, and it just doesn't reflect me. So, that's number 1. Number 2, it's only Animanga. I kind of dabbled with the idea of doing visual novels like Umineko, Fata Morgana, Fate Stay Night. I'm not doing that. So only Animanga, because I'm like, will I have enough to fill a list? I had plenty. So no visual novels. No visual novels, no video games, no TV shows, so only Animanga. Number 3, arcs are ambiguous. Arcs are very ambiguous. Some of these on the list are divided in a way that you might not agree with. In some cases, I'm actually still grappling with it myself for divisions of arcs. It's very... arcs are weird, you know? One of the biggest challenges of this list has been, like, what the hell is considered an arc in, like Naruto? How the hell do I divide the pain arc? True, Bea, so true. How do I divide the pain arc, you know? Do I do One Piece sagas? Do I do One Piece arcs? Stuff like that. There's so many questions about what constitutes an arc. No Uminanga, there's no, I just said Uminanga. No Umineko manga, no. Because to me, the manga and the visual novel are part of the same story. Uminanga. 96! Hey, the alerts are working again. Damn, Pepino got Streamlabs to work. Thank you, Pepino. I read the manga. Oh yeah, I own the manga for Umineko. It's right over there. So yeah. So arcs are ambiguous. Thank you, Pepino, for the 96 bits. I didn't use the Shueisha division of Bleach where it has 28 separate arcs. What? Bleach has 28 arcs? Is that a lie? Oh no, look at that. Only Pepino's bits worked. Wow, beautiful. Thank you, Stu, for the 2-year resub. Thank you very much. Bleach filler, I see. Thank you, Stu, for the 2-year resub. Thank you. Welcome to the 2-year club. You got it, Pepino. So yeah, arcs are ambiguous. There may be a division of, like, there's, in some cases, I usually tend to, yeah, TYBW, 1,000 Year Blood War, I did not divide into 5 parts, personally. I just have it as one. Spoiler alert, it's on here somewhere. In some case, a lot of the times, I just looked at the wiki, and I'd say about 70 to 80% of the time, I just used what the wiki said, because I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But sometimes I just disagree, and I just combine arcs together, I divide arcs in other places. So, all in all, I think you'll be able to see why each arc is there, you know? But I think, once in a while, you might see a little bit of a strange or weird division of an arc. And that's just how it is, right? Sometimes I add an arc, sometimes I blend them together. Arcs are ambiguous. And the last couple things, there will be no specific spoilers. We'll see, Nero. There will be no specific spoilers. When we start talking about an arc, I'll give a blurb for each little one, as I tend to do. There will be no specific spoilers, but, like, I will give vague feelings about it, and I'll mention a character that's a part of it. So, like, Chimera Ant, like, holy shit, I love how experimental Togashi is here. I love the narrator. Meruem has one of the best arcs. Like, that's kind of what you can expect. So, you're not going to hear nothing. I got to talk about it a little bit, and there's going to be some vague things, and you're also going to see the arc name, but I don't intend to spoil anything specific, and there may be points at which people ask specific questions, and I'll be like, okay, mute right now if you don't want to know spoilers for, Haikyuu, for this arc. Right? So yeah. No intent to spoil anything specific. I'll be talking about it broadly, very vaguely, and in the case where I do get more specific, I will tell you and you can mute. One Piece, yes, One Piece has sagas. I decided to use One Piece sagas like Fiji did as well, instead of arcs. So it's not Syrup Village or Baratie or Punk Hazard, you know? It is the East Blue Saga. It is, you know, Dressrosa Saga. Because that's what feels right for comparing One Piece to other series. Skypia? We'll see. Cool, I can't wait, Gio. I wonder if Hunter Exam and Zoldyck family will be combined here. You usually separate them, right? I do. But if it could boost Hunter Exam and make it go higher, we love a bit of cheating for the agenda? We do. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. And is that it? Oh, last one, last thing, which is maybe the most important thing. I love every single arc. On this list, every single arc I love. If an arc is number 55 and you think it should be 10, that's okay. That's just personal preference. I'm not slandering an arc by it being lower in the list. I still adore it. That's why it's on this list. Just remember, I love every arc that we're naming here. Even the honorable mentions, I love them. Okay? That is everything. Are there any questions outside of that? Oh, and we're also going to do bets. We'll do bets. That was another one. JoJo's Part 7 finale was a tough one for me, Bea. What would I rate the lowest ranked arc on this list? Probably a strong 8. Strong 8. What is number 1? You'll see. How'd I split up JoJo arcs? You'll see. You'll see when we go through it. Did I mention how many arcs are in this list? 70. 70. Okay. Shall we reveal the honorable mentions? Am I ranking? Oh, that's a good question, Gil. Sorry, there's a couple questions first. I can't believe Age is going to systematically slander every single one of my favorite pieces of media. Get ready, Mike. Get ready.
Chaos.
Why are some subs working and some aren't? I don't get it. Thank you so much, Chill. Thank you so much. For the 10 gifted subs, that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Remember, guys, the vote for the next manga read-through, the first elimination is tomorrow, and some people are putting some of the subs from today towards that. Thank you so much, Chill. If you got a sub, please enjoy. Enjoy the badge, enjoy the Twitch has favorites, I guess so. Thank you so much, Chill. Sincerely, thank you so much for the 10 bomb. If you got one, please, please enjoy. Thank you so much. Gil asked a great question, which is, are you ranking the best version of the arc or the source material? It's kind of a combination. Like, when I think of Attack on Titan's final arc, it's kind of like the accumulation of both. In some cases where the anime fixes problems with the manga, or the anime has limitations, the problems are kind of canceled out if one is better than the other, but I kind of combine them. Sorry, it's kind of a non-answer. Well, it's kind of an answer, Gil. Hopefully that makes sense. I kind of combine them. The two that have worked are Hunter x Hunter gifts? Stream Alerts is saying something. Oh, you're right, D. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Attack on Titan's a great example for the sort of thing I'm talking about. And say one nice thing about Gladel Metaphor. I would say the most human character in Metaphor. And one of my favorite, relatively minimal screen time, but incredibly rich impact characters in, the last year I've experienced. I love Gladel. No, Celix. No visual novels at all. What's up, Underdog? If AG does not have the same top 10 of me, he hates me. Well, fingers crossed. Claw Willie, what's your number 1, by the way? What's your number 2? What's your number 3? Yeah, in some cases where one is way worse than the other, I just kind of eliminate mostly the other in my mind. It's like the best version of it, which is kind of sometimes accumulation. All right, let's do it. Honorable mentions, get ready for a wall of text. Rate a character dynamic, Ozaki and Seishin from Shiki. Hold on. I don't remember those character names. One is the doctor, right? Yeah, Ozaki's the doctor. Seishin, is that his boyfriend? Yes, it is. Best dynamic, probably S. Okay, let's do it. I'm glad you enjoyed Shiki's rewatch, by the way, Elijah. I want to do that myself. Boom. Boom, here we go. I'm not going to read it all out, but there's a lot of One Piece on the honorable mentions. There's quite a lot of My Hero Academia. Some Kuroko no Basuke, a Hunter x Hunter arc, some Monogatari, JoJo's Part 7, Hoseki no Kuni, Blue Lock. Welcome in, Struggler, just in time. Oh, sorry, let me put the player on screen. The last song, I don't know, let's see. Kingdom of Uriah Xenoblade 2. Kaguya-sama. There's a bunch of Naruto, Kakashi Gaiden, Land of Waves. There's some Digimon. There is Yu-Gi-Oh! I was actually heartbroken that I couldn't put Yu-Gi-Oh! On the main list. Digimon does have a manga. This is from the anime, purely. I haven't read the manga. 2 Tokyo Ghouls? Yep. There is a Hunter x Hunter arc not in the top 70. So, let me answer Sarah's question. I have, because it's relevant, I have divided Zoldyck Family from Hunter Exam. So to me, Zoldyck Family is its own arc. I didn't put it in the honorable mentions because I'm just the ultimate Hunter x Hunter glazer. It could easily be here because I think Zoldyck arc is still great. But it's not here. And Heaven's Arena is my second least favorite Hunter x Hunter arc. Even though I'm still one of its biggest fans in the world. I made a video about it. I gush about Heaven's Arena all the time. I know Ippo's post-World War II arc is really, really good and the peak of the series for me. What's the rating of the 10 for the lowest ranked art on this list? Yeah, someone asked that earlier. Probably like a strong 8. Like my lowest arc in this whole list is probably a strong 8 out of 10. Really, Rat? That's interesting. Yes, I combined Shiguma Solo and Arakawa School History. To me, they go together for Akane Banashi. Someone asked another question. So many Naruto mentions Broken Heart. Why is that bad? Do you know how many arcs are in Naruto? Spoiler alert, there are multiple to come in the list. This is fine. Is Final Saga One Piece on the list? Here's another thing. Any question you have, is X on the list, will be answered. It will be answered. Didn't know you like My Hero Academia this much. The thing is, My Hero Academia as a whole, to me, is good to very good, roughly. It's not a favorite. It ultimately disappointed me in certain ways. While being a very important series to me, it didn't end up being as good as I wished it was. Maybe that'll change on reread, but I don't know. But My Hero Academia has a stretch that is so Kino. It is so Kino. It is from, There are 70 entries on the list. Camino raid into Overhaul. There might be like an arc or two in between, but whatever. Camino raid, Overhaul, School Festival, Pro Hero, My Villain Academia. Holy shit, man, that stretch is so good. I love that stretch. And even still, like, other arcs are, because what did I put? Yeah, Hideout Raid Camino, Overhaul, My Villain Academia, Pro Hero, UA School Festival. That's all the ones in my honorable mention. So, yeah, join training. I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. Yeah, so I love certain arcs of My Hero Academia. These are a bunch of them. My Villain Academia was like roughly the next one up to be put on the list. There are a few in this list that were like the next 5. My Villain Academia was one of them. Dressrosa Saga includes Punk Hazard. Someone asked that. There's Battle City Tournament, which was really close. There's some monster in here. Land of Waves. Kakashi Gaiden was so close to making it. I can't find the Digimon mention. Digimon is here. The final arc from Digimon Adventure 2 and the final arc from Digimon Tamers. Both of them are incredible. When you were talking about how you would rate the lowest series on this list, does that mean 70 or honorable mentions? Honorable mentions. It's a lot of Hoseki no Kuni, yeah. It's a lot of Hoseki no Kuni. Hoseki no Kuni is another difficult one to divide into arcs for me. But yeah. And then some notable series that I could not include because I just don't think they have arcs for me. Fate Zero, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Ping Pong the Animation, Steins Gate, Rakugo. Stuff like that, unfortunately, just I don't think have arcs. Nana's another one. To me, it doesn't really have arcs, personally. Yeah, that's Fate Zero's arc, Elijah. Say one random thing about Neo Egoist. I think it's just generally the payoff. Well, it introduces one of my favorite characters in the whole series. Multiple, actually. It gives us one of, I think, the most affecting, personal, impactful backstory as well. In the Italy side of things. And I think it's just a lot of the payoff for the characters that I've been really searching for ages. It's where a lot of the dynamics come to the fore in a way that I feel was hinted at, but properly paid off in the Neo Egoist arc. It's the best part of Blue Lock for me. Would the list include arcs that aren't finished yet? Yes, there are unfinished arcs on this list. What do I consider to be the Dollars arc? Basically, the first half or so of Season 1. Do I consider FMA to have arcs? I do in points. Like, I think there's a Briggs arc. I think there's a Promise Day arc. Yeah, Nana is continuous screaming in agony. Yeah. But then there's some points in FMA where I don't really... It's kind of not really an arc. It's weird for me. And yeah, there's no Chainsaw Man here. There's a couple of Kaguya-sama. Okay, any other questions about this? Obviously, we can go back to it. It's not gone forever, but this is it. This is it. Also, let me just make sure I want to... So there's a bunch of JoJo's Part 7. There's this final Beastars arc, which is so weird. This Beastars' final arc has immense greatness and then kind of shits itself at the end to me. but the anime gives me hope. The anime elevated some of my feelings for it, rearranged some things really nicely, and gives me hope that it could go up higher. But, like, this is a really weird addition, because, I don't know, at its worst, it's really... Beastars' final arc is really bad to me. It's a weird one, so I just put it in here. Does Blue Period... Blue Period doesn't have arcs for me. Or, I guess you... I mean, you could argue it does, but for me, it felt arbitrary to divide them. Can you say exactly what makes it bad? That would spoil a lot of the series. Basically, a lot of character arcs don't pay off properly. The ending is thematically confusing and doesn't really fulfill a lot of what I think it's set out to do. And it just kind of ends with a whimper. Thanks, Elijah. Thank you, Elbay, for the 3-stream streak. Thank you very much. Real chill. Real. If I knew how to divide Blue Period, if I wanted to divide Blue Period, it would be on here for sure. What's up, Ziggy? Same with, you know, a lot of the other series I mentioned. Ava. Fate Zero, Rakugo. What's my favorite Naruto arc in the honorable mentions? Kakashi Gaiden, with Land of Waves quite close. Do I have bets in mind? I will improvise. I'll improvise. I don't have any in mind, but I'll improvise. Hunter x Hunter might be on the list. We'll see. Quicksilver, we'll see. Okay, now let me get us started. What's up, Fiji? There was no Yu Yu Hakusho, no. There was no Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho's a good series that I don't really feel strongly about. So, yeah. Okay, right on time, Fiji. So, this is a top 70. And there is one arc that is ongoing and deserves a place on this list somewhere, but I don't know where to put it, and it's in Cooking Tier. There is one arc in Cooking Tier. Can anyone guess which arc that is? Because I don't know where it goes at all. Okay, you got it. Elbaf, but, you know, Final Saga, since we're doing One Piece sagas, I don't know where it would go. I project it to be one of the best One Piece arcs if it continues going like this, if not the top one, like I keep saying. I project it to be top 3 or 4 at least, but combining that with Egghead, the Final Saga, there's just too many unknowns, so I don't know where to put it. It could be quite high, but there's too many unknowns, not enough payoff. Okay. Let's begin. So on my side here, you know, we can start off with a bet with 68 and 69, honestly. Or 67 and 68. Yeah, we'll do a bet with 67 and 68, right off the bat. But number 70 is a very recent arc, actually. Nariko Draw from Monogatari. This just came out this past year. One of my favorite Monogatari arcs, an incredibly relatable arc that kind of ties the knot on Nariko as a character, at least for now. A beautiful continuation from Hitagi End. Just encapsulates why Nariko is my third, maybe second favorite character in the series. Really, really incredible arc. I really loved experiencing it early this year. Was it this year? I think it was, yeah. I think it was a little less than a year ago. It was last year. Okay. Sorry, what is time? last year. Yeah, it's just one of the better Monogatari arcs. A great demonstration of both what it means to create and pour your heart and blood and sweat and tears into something and keep going when you don't see the rewards of it, but also how it feels to look back at yourself and see stages of yourself where maybe you cringe and maybe you're embarrassed and maybe it reminds you of something painful, but it's all part of the process, it's all part of the journey, and it's worth embracing all those aspects of yourself, you know? Very Hoseki no Kuni in a way, but in a totally different execution. Yeah, Nadeku Draw, incredible arc. Number 69 is the ominous music for the least ominous series of all time. Inter High from Haikyuu. For anyone wondering, this is... Oh, the music for it? This is episodes 15 to 25 of Season 1. So it's the Inter High competition. Which is... you know, crazy to say it, but the weakest part of Haikyuu, which is, like, Season 1 is the weakest part of Haikyuu. It just is. It's still amazing. It's still on my favorite arcs list. It's still incredibly emotional. I cry multiple times throughout this. There's, again, I won't talk in super specifics, but I feel like Haikyuu is one of those series that it's hard to spoil for people. I feel like most people experienced it, but there's a moment in episode 16 that always gets me to cry, and it's the sort of montage between where Daichi's the focal point between the Karasuno boys game and Karasuno girls game, and it goes between him and Michimiya and her game, and it just shows how coalescing with everything is this just desire, this aspiration to constantly reach the top and stay on the court. And it shows the perspective of the losers, exactly. Just the way that's edited together in the anime is so incredible. It's one of my favorite scenes in all of Haikyuu. And to me, that's kind of the highlight of Season 1, along with the eating scene. Eat, grow stronger, as well as Hinata and Kageyama's little spat at the end, just kind of screaming, running around the gym. Those are kind of big highlights of the Inter High. Isn't it incredible how great Haikyuu is from the literal beginning? It's just so good, man. So that is the first Haikyuu arc on this list. Well, there was a Haikyuu arc in the honorable mentions, which is like the first part of Season 1. There will be another one. Sorry to spoil. No, it wasn't, Kane. No, it wasn't. You're talking about that we also played volleyball spread? Yes, like the whole sequence leading up to that as well. Specifically, the sequence leading up to it, more than that actual culmination, with the music in the anime, is just out of this world to me. God, the Haikyuu music on shuffle when we're talking about Haikyuu. Shida Torizawa match? We might talk about that later. Okay, do you guys want to, do you guys want to do a bet right off the bat? Because I think that could be fun. Okay, so the two... This is so fun, actually. So, which arc do you guys think is higher? These are the next two. Between these two. Hunter exams from Hunter x Hunter, or Chunin exams from Naruto, including Konoha Crush. That's an important one. This includes Konoha Crush. Isn't that crazy? I swear I didn't do this on purpose. It's just how it happened. You think this is free? Thank you for the streak, Saw. So, here we go. Prediction. There we go. It started, you should have 2 minutes. My brain doesn't know what to vote. My brain didn't know for a while, too. I only read Chunin exams. I watched quite a bit of it. I basically watched... I watched a lot of it with Hannah. Because I know a lot of people divide the Chunin exams and Konoha Crush. I don't, personally. I see a lot of continuity there, specifically with, Gaara. Oh? Uh-oh. What? Oh, what? Uh-oh. Gonna go for Hunter x Hunter? Yeah. Chunin exams including Konoha Crush, yep. What is it currently? Currently, 57% say Chunin exams from Naruto, 43% say Hunter exams from Hunter x Hunter. So, betting your soul on Chunin? Well, damn. Two incredible arcs. I think that the Chunin exams in Naruto have far more problems than the Hunter exam. I think it's really interesting to compare and contrast them, because I look at the Hunter exams from Hunter x Hunter. Again, this combines anime and manga. My feelings on both. I don't think there's like a single problem in it in Hunter x Hunter. I don't really think there's a flaw. Sure, there are episodes that are, I guess, a bit less interesting. But I still think those episodes are really interesting. It's just incredibly consistent. And laying the foundations for a lot of emotional peaks and dynamics that will be paid off later, while just being super interesting in and of itself. It's one of the best first arcs I've ever seen, the Hunter exams. It establishes Gon as an amazing character immediately. Gon and Killua as such an incredible dynamic immediately. Leorio and Kurapika so efficiently. Thank you, Soul Samurai, for gifting a sub to Hannah. Enjoy that, Hannah. Again, no alerts. Thanks, Streamlabs. But yeah. Thank you so much, Soul Samurai. Let us know if that goes towards something. So yeah, and it's just like the perfect first arc for Hunter x Hunter. Chunin exams, I sincerely love as well. I think it introduces a lot of characters, some which end up being more peripheral, but some that end up being really good. Like, I think it introduces Shikamaru really well. Ino's great in this. Sakura's amazing in this. Sakura cutting her hair is peak as hell. I don't care what anyone says. Some great fights. I mean, Lee versus... I'm gonna mention some Naruto fights. For anyone who doesn't... just in case. Lee versus Gaara is really awesome. I think Naruto versus Neji is actually better for me. And then the culmination it leads to with Konoha Crush, with the stuff with Hiruzen and Orochimaru, is so juicy and great. And then, of course, the Gaara-Naruto dynamic, I think up till that point, is probably the best dynamic in the series. For me. Chunin Exams definitely, like Hannah says, Chunin Exams is definitely more rough than Hunter Exams. And there are more, like, flaws, I think. Hunter Exam, I really honestly can't point to any. Chunin Exams definitely have some rough edges. But also the culminations it reaches are incredibly emotional and great, I think. Thank you so much for the 46 months, Indy. Yeah. I mean, we just started, but lots of fun so far. Thank you so much. Okay, the answer is... Chunin Exams. Konoha Crush. The addition of Konoha Crush just about puts it above. So congratulations to 57% of you. You're not mad at losing this? It's a tough one. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. I'm mad at losing this. There will be more. Quite soon, I think. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bea. I'm sorry. Nothing tops how the Hunter Exam concluded for me, in probably all of fiction. First time seeing it was when I watched 99, and seeing who hasn't passed and why and how changed my brain chemistry. It's honestly so incredible the way Togashi plays around with expectations and uses classic shonen ideas and ideals and aesthetics and tropes, and then builds upon them, but also goes a bit left field and subversive with like the stuff, the way he does the reverse tournament arc with if you lose, you keep going up. You know, and how that coalesces with Killua, and how Gon is ranked ahead of him, and then you go, oh, Killua's really, like, got this envy and inferiority complex, but also just wants to be Gon's friend. Like, it's so incredible. And I'm saying all this, and I'm like, man, why isn't this above Chunin Exams? But Gaara, man, Hiruzen, Orochimaru, Naruto Neji, still to this day, one of the most underrated fights in shonen I've ever seen. I think it's really where Naruto comes into its own as, like, oh no, like, Land of Waves is one of the best first arcs I've ever seen. Chunin Exams broadened it, built upon it, and that led to some rough edges and stuff, but it made me more encouraged than ever that Naruto could continue to become something special. It's like that second arc, in some ways, is more difficult to pull off than the first. No, I agree. I agree, Sarah. And I was so delighted with how Chunin Exams came about. The Toad's Blade, true. Yeah, I agree, Ray. It is very hype. It does build the world. It does build the lore and mythos and everything. So yeah, so 4 series in, we have Monogatari, Haikyuu, Hunter x Hunter, and Naruto. That's fun, huh? Next up is another pretty iconic one. The highs of Chunin Exams are almost incomparable to any tournament and exam arc in shonen. Yeah, like, the highs, the payoff and highs of Chunin Exam are so great that's what gives it that extra push for me. Soul Society, you think? Bleach, you think? Next up is L versus Kita from Death Note. So this is the first 26 episodes of Death Note. The L arc, I mean, it is self-explanatory, right? 25, 26 episodes, something like that. Too low? So true. So true. What's up, Simba? What people usually think Death Note is in its entirety? True. Near Mellow arc, not an honorable mention? It probably could be. It probably could be, but like, it's... I could put it. What's it called? Near Mellow Death Note. It wasn't, but it could be there. I could add it. Yeah, L versus Kita is, I will always go to bat for the last third or so of Death Note. I think it's really, really incredible, really rich, pays off more than I think people give it credit for a lot of the times. And Nier and Mello are really, they're not amazing characters in and of themselves, but they're amazing antitheses. What's up, Geen? But L versus Kita is the core of Death Note. It is all the rich, super great dynamics about cycles of power, the lament of humanity, and how lamentable it is that humans are susceptible to power, lust, and ego, and all that sort of thing. It's all established here. It's fully fleshed out here. It's incredibly done. The tribalism aspect, the competition aspect, the I need to be superior to you part of it, and what really nails home how great this arc to me is that L is a monster as well. Like, he isn't as morally reprehensible as Light, but how L describes himself as being able to understand monsters because he likewise is a monster who wants to win just as much as Light, and who wants to do this not for justice, but for winning, is such a profound thought. So yeah, won't get into super specifics in case there's someone who hasn't seen Death Note or read Death Note, but thematically rich, honestly so thrilling, such a great cat and mouse psychological thriller, lots of fun. Also homoerotic, absolutely homoerotic, true. Thank you, Kyle, for the 27-month resub. Haven't been in the streams much because I've been glued to Trails. Beautiful. Started with FC Remake last month, already on Cold Steel 3? Oh my gosh. Azure top 1 so far? Agreed. Agreed. Although Cold Steel 3 is one of my favorites. I love Cold Steel 3. Thank you so much, Kyle. Did I read or watch Death Note? Both. Both. Death Note has an amazing OST. Incredible OST. Who's my favorite Death Note character? Light is by far the best Death Note character for me. It's not even... Light is universes away. And I say that despite loving L, who is my second favorite. L is an incredible character. I love L. Light is like straight up for his role, for what he's meant to be, for what he's meant to portray, and for the tragedy that he is, not in terms of sympathy, but in terms of what it means for humanity, what the story is saying about human nature. Like, he is just, he doesn't put a foot wrong. He's so powerful, so incredible. He is that fella. So yeah, L versus Kita, absolutely deserving of its place in my favorites. Thoughts on the way they changed his death scene in the anime? Okay, well, has anyone here not seen or read Death Note? Hopefully not. So, okay, I'm glad. Guys, just be wary about spoilers, right? I'm trying to not get into super specifics too. If you want to talk about spoilers, just like, you can allude to it in chat, and then I'll be like, okay, we'll talk about it. Just be aware of that, because we don't want to super spoil stuff, right? Okay, good. It's a good thing it didn't seem to bother anyone, even though people who... No worries, Struggler. I don't think these lists need much of a huge amount of modding, so don't worry too much about it. Basically, I like it better in the anime. I think it's a bit more powerful in the anime. A lot of people say that the manga is just generally better. I think I disagree. I think Araki does quite a few interesting directorial things that enhance the story for me. I do think the last third is paced better in the manga, but I think in terms of changes to specific moments, I do tend to prefer the anime. So yeah. Number 6, so I'm actually going to put 64 and 65 together. These are interesting arc titles, so just be aware of that. Both of them are for Gintama. I won't get into super specifics, but I think these two go together. Gintama is a series that I adored upon first watch. I adored upon first watch. It was one of the most special experiences I've ever had. I shared it on Twitter. People were really into my watch of it on Twitter and my thoughts. And when I got to these arcs in specifics, it was just like everything I had been waiting for. Baked into Gintama is essentially like comedy. Gintama is not wade through the comedy until you get to the more serious stuff, but because comedy is an essential part of it, and this stuff wouldn't hit without it. However, I was waiting for Gintama to super hit for me. Four Devas, which is in the honorable mentions, did that and made me love it. This took it to another level. Both of these arcs back to back, it did things that I had no clue Gintama was capable of. It solidified the Gintoki Takasugi dynamic as like an all-time shonen favorite one. And it just emotionally struck me so strongly. These two are just such 300 episode culminations that are just so incredible. Yes, they are, Claire, yep. And I was honestly shocked that the series was capable of this sort of thing. It was such a joy to be able to realize that Gintama can do this stuff. I think the arcs after this come close. I think Rakuyo, I'm a big fan of Rakuyo. I think it's really good. I think it does some really incredible stuff with motherhood and what that means for a couple of the characters, siblings, and I think Silver Soul is really, like, the highs of Silver Soul are as good as this, maybe even higher, but it's just, I think Silver Soul as a whole isn't quite the complete package that these two are. Isaburo, yeah, with the Farewell Shinsengumi arc, Isaburo, one of the best Gintama characters, I think top 5 probably. And then just like the tragedy or like the sadness of Era's ending while still saying one day we'll be back. Just like, oh man. It's really incredible. To be clear, Claire, Gintama hasn't declined for me, really. It's just that I think I rode a high for the first year or two after first finishing Gintama, and I don't latch onto its ideas and the experience of it as much as I do with other series. So I don't think it's, like, worse. I don't think it's gotten worse. It's just my emotions and my tastes have evolved such that it's not as high as it used to be in 2020, you know? And also there's some humor that I don't think is good that I didn't realize wasn't good back then. But hey, I don't think it's a big deal. Oh, you read it. That's cool. That's cool. It did stop. You're right, Lolo. It did stop falling off. I will say voice acting for Gintama is really... I don't think I would have enjoyed it nearly as much without that. Next up is, I think, this arc has had a bit of a resurgence in the last couple of years, maybe, in terms of people realizing that it's actually freaking Kino. But I still think it can be underrated in circles. You think Skypia? Will this have tiers? It'll have broad tiers. Skypia, last arc of JJK. Skypia. Greed Island. Fiji, you got it. Greed Island from Hunter x Hunter. What is to me the fourth best arc in... No, fifth best? Fifth best arc in Hunter x Hunter. Just ahead of Hunter Exam, Heaven's Arena, and Zoldyck Family. Greed Island is like a bit of everything. Greed Island is genuinely incredible to me. Every time I reflect on it, rewatch it, reread parts of it, I still need to do a full reread of it. It just stuns me how good it is in every facet. Because, first of all, it's just tons of fun. Fourth, honestly, having... Greed Island is not ahead of York New for me. You guys know me and York New. But I think it's understandable to have Greed Island ahead of York New. I totally get it. First of all, Greed Island is just tons of fun. It's just so much fun. It's so imaginative. It's so cool to see Gon and Killua do all these things and gain experience and do these JRPG adventures, and it's so cool to see Togashi's obsession with JRPGs manifest in an arc like this, and his imagination, and all the thought that went into the world building of this, what is basically an isekai arc, and the mechanics of it. It's just pure fun. Them and Bisky, it's just so... I adore the trio of Gon, Killua, Bisky. It genuinely makes me emotional. I love Bisky. I love Killua with Bisky. Their sort of butting heads dynamic. But just, there's so many shots in Greed Island of the trio heading off into the sunset, you know? Heading off into the sunset, or training together, or eating together, and it's just so beautiful to me. So it's just fun and emotional, just on a base level, but it also is a reflection of Jing as a person, so subtextually brilliant. It's also full of incredible fights, the dodgeball game, the Genthru stuff, and it's also, it's a training arc. It's also a training arc, and it also is the anti-Chimera Ant in establishing the foundation through contrast for all of the payoff you get for Chimera Ant. Every bit of payoff for Gon and Killua. That was an hour ago. Streamlabs? That was an hour ago. This is... Oh my god. Generational. It's doing them all. Lives are changed in this moment. Streamlabs, please. Well, they're all coming in now. They're all coming in now. So it's mechanically sound, it's fun, it's super emotional. You know the scene with Gon and Killua, right? The watercolor still image, postcard memory, right? Where Killua's eyes are covered as he walks away. Let them come. Like, it's... I guess the one thing you could say it doesn't have, but it's not meant to have, is, like, tragedy. But, like, it has everything. It delivers in every way. And it's just... I'm just in awe at it. I'm in awe. It could be higher, to be honest. You know what? I think it's higher. I think it's actually 62. I think it's actually 62. Simba said that people said you have to, like, sort of push through Greed Island to enjoy it, which is funny, because, yeah, it is so much fun. It's so much fun. I've seen people who have it top 1, and I get it. I honestly get it. It's so fun, it's emotional, it's sweet, it's just enjoyable to watch, it's hype, It's dramatic, it's got tons of character depth and substance and dynamics, and also the toxic sort of, maybe not toxic, but the messy, rough elements of the Killua-Gon dynamic. The dependency, the lack of self-worth, that is all, like, if you like that stuff, if you love that stuff in Hunter x Hunter, thank Greed Island for that, because that is the core of it. Yeah, classic midstream position change. It's your second favorite? Love it. Love it. So this is actually, I lied. This is actually 62. I lied about this. I just changed my mind mid the classic, you know. Yeah, and it's also great. Togashi's so great at balancing things between arcs. Like Lolo says, it's great to have Gon and Killua after in the forefront. This is the Gon and Killua arc after the Kurapika-centric arc. I know, right, Raph? Yeah, it's interesting how it shakes out, Bea. The thing is, Hunter exam... Greed Island could... The thing is, there's so many arcs, right? There's so many arcs. Greed Island could... I could... Greed Island could be as high as 58. It's super close. It's super close. But I think this is good for now. Yeah, Hisoka has a great role in this. Razor's a great character. Bisky, my love. Bisky, my love. Like, Greed Island is mechanical perfection. The thing I've been harping on the idea for years that in terms of mechanics and function and laying foundations, Heaven's Arena is like the best you can get. I don't disagree with that, but Greed Island is that, but more. You know? Lamayo, I turn and see Greed Island above Chunin exams. Yeah, see... Greed Island, yeah. I think it's better than Chunin exams. Why do you think Chunin exams is way better than Greed Island? I think it's got more clever structuring, writing, less problems. I totally get having Chunin exams above it. They're really close. But I also think it's a very fair take to have Greed Island. But that's me. I hated Greed Island. There you go. There you go. Can you elaborate more on mechanics, what it means in the context for arcs? Basically what I just said, Nero, about how it provides the foil and contrast for a lot of the payoff in Chimera Ant through showing a lot of Gon and Killua. So in more specifics, showing a lot of Gon and Killua's relationship that shows how things could be dangerous between them. So for example, it needs to be Killua who holds the ball for me in the dodgeball game. It needs to be Killua. And then Killua going, yeah, I will mutilate my hands. I'll physically damage myself to make Gon happy. Right? That is a little concerning, right? To put it lightly. But the thing is, they're not punished for it. They're actually rewarded for it. And so that establishes that element of their relationship, and they're fine. And it's all works out, and they don't think anything's wrong with it until it explodes in the worst possible way in Chimera Ant. And the warning signs were there all along. It makes the payoff way more powerful. It makes the devastation way more powerful. So that's a great mechanical thing it does. It also does a lot with indirectly characterizing Jing, like I said, building the world. Like, it does a lot of technical things that I think are really great that allow the series to flourish as a whole and later on. And I think Heaven's Arena does that too. I have a whole video on why Heaven's Arena is amazing for that. For transitioning between arcs while being a great tournament arc of its own, etc. More aura and hype moments, so true. How much did Chimera Ant elevate Greed Island for you? I think that both arcs are elevated by one another. So I think Chimera Ant would not be as high as it is for me without Greed Island, and likewise, I don't think Greed Island would be as high without Chimera Ant. The build-up needs the payoff needs the build-up. I think they're bettered by one another. Yeah. They feel like one saga to me. I get that. To me, there's a division for sure, but I understand combining them. Do I prefer Greed Island in the anime or manga? Anime, but like I said, it's been a while since I reread Greed Island fully. I really like the directing and music choice and voice acting. I think Greed Island is where the adaptation takes a bit of a step up. The ED reason? Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I would like to think that there are some things that need to be resolved, Bea, but I'd like to think that after that resolution comes to the fore, it'll be okay to coalesce with Gon's character arc. It is tomorrow as well, Mandela. I definitely recommend checking out the schedule, because it always has the weekly streams. There was another adaptation of Greed Island in '99. I don't enjoy that one, really. I don't think they got the tone right for that. But yeah, we're streaming today and tomorrow. So yeah, that's number 62. So what was above it but is now below it is this one. The Culling games from Jujutsu Kaisen. Before I talk about this, thank you very much, Puzzlin, for the 33 months with Prime, and Xeno the Wise for the 10 months. Top Animanga arcs like this feel so impossible to rank, even with only 20 options. To do an entire 70 would tear me apart inside. Been there, done that. I've been torn apart. Thank you, Xeno. It was difficult, but I'm glad we got it. So, Culling Games Jujutsu Kaisen. Is this the highest JJK arc? I guess we'll see. Or, the best JJK arc? I guess we'll see. So, I just used the wiki for this. So, whatever the wiki says. For anyone, for context, this is what the arc that we are about to get for JJK. I just used the wiki, which is... Oh god, maybe I didn't. Let's see. So it is chapter 137 to... So it includes 137 to 221? So it includes also the Perfect Preparation arc and the Itadori, arc. So I include all of that in one when I think of that. I saw one clip, Dave. So it combines more than most people probably would. So let's go. Let's just... I don't know. What chapters do I do? 137 to 221. I really, really, really enjoy Culling Games. I think when I first read it, it was a mix of having some stuff that I'm just like, and still to this day kind of feel a bit iffy about. Like, there are elements of it, won't get into specifics, but there are elements of it that kind of alienated me where I'm just like, I don't know, I'm not that interested in this. But then, it also has some of the absolute greatest stuff in the series. Yeah, some fights I was just like, eh. But when it is good, it is some of the peaks of JJK. There is some unbelievable stuff for Yuji. A lot of the reason why Yuji is my second favorite character in JJK is in this arc. This arc introduces one of the greatest characters in the whole story. And it gives me... This arc also transformed Maki into one of my favorite characters in the series. Among other things. Then there's lots of really cool mechanical stuff. It's actually funny that this is next to Greed Island, because I think Gege does a lot of things with this arc's mechanics that Togashi does with Greed Island. It's definitely uneven, it's definitely quite flawed, and honestly, to this day, I also feel, Higuruma. Yeah, Higuruma. My favorite part of the arc is probably the Maki stuff or the Higuruma Yuji stuff. Kenjaku's so good. Kenjaku's so good in this too. Yeah, Mai as well. Mai is incredible in this. Like, there are so many highs that I can't not have it this high. But at the same time, I do admit, I feel like I'm missing a little something with Culling Games. I feel like there are parts of it that I haven't locked in on. I don't understand, or like I haven't connected with as much as I could have. Maybe some elements of it that I don't understand quite well. So there are parts of it that I kind of like have erased from my mind or have forgotten that I just don't think of when I think of JJK that I think the anime could improve upon. So it is definitely an uneven favorite. It's definitely an uneven favorite, and I think it could be improved with the adaptation, for sure, to allow me to connect more with it, kind of like the adaptation did for Shibuya. Rated character dynamic, Mai and Maki, so good. Like, strong S, low double S, maybe? Yeah, Pepino, it's, the chapters included are on screen. 137 to 221. So I include all those arcs in between this and Shinjuku... between Shibuya and Shinjuku Showdown. The anime could definitely improve it, but I doubt it'll erase all my problems with it. Well, yeah, me too. Like, I have... Yeah, I think there are fundamental things that just don't interest me as much about it, that I don't think can be erased. But I do have hope for this potentially going higher. Maybe quite a bit higher with the anime. Lolo, that is a take I disagree with, but very much respect. Having Mai ahead of Maki is a really cool take that I like a lot. Having Mai, like, top 10 in JJK is such a base take. Oh, you're right, Struggler, my bad. Top 5 found families and... Sorry, I have a couple of redeems I missed. Top 5 found families in fiction. The Chainsaw Man Part 1 trio, the Straw Hats, Final Fantasy VII's Party. Ontaku's a good one. I think I'll wait till I finish Re before including Ontaku. Honestly, like, a lot of the core JJK crew, Yakuza crew, and yes, Guts' Party post Golden Age. That's a great one. Also, Great Ace Attorney. Oh my god, yes. And then, say one nice thing about Genthru. So I have a couple of videos on why Genthru is exactly what Greed Island needed him to be, but my answer for this, outside of the mechanical stuff, will actually be an emotional one, which is that, there's something really emotionally profound to me about him. I mentioned this maybe yesterday or Sunday or something, about him wanting to heal his friends at the end of Greed Island, rather than himself, and his really honest care for them, to contrast his immense depravity and greed. It's something that really kind of emotionally connects with me, and also is very deceptively complex. Also, his power being the little rose, as a foundation for the poor man's rose, is really genius. Misato's home? I suppose so. It's just so flawed to me. It's so messy to an extent that, to a greater extent than the other ones I said, that it's still, that doesn't mean it's not family though. So yeah, I could see that for sure. Oh wow, York New above Greed Island? Are you really surprised that I could have York New above Greed Island? Potentially? I think you're the first person who would be surprised that I would have York New above Greed Island. I don't think I've... Specifically, like, it is the common take, but also for me. That's funny. That's interesting. That's kind of cool that you're surprised by that, potentially. Yeah, I have like 10 videos on Crollo. And then top 5 JJK fights. So I'll say in specifics for the anime. So Yuji versus Mahito. The final fight. The Higuruma fight. The Maki fight. And Sukuna versus Jogo and or Maharaga. Most surprising takes so far are definitely the Gintama ones. I do love Gintama, yeah. Gintama is one of my favorite shonen, so it definitely earns its spot. I do not plan to rewatch the arcs. I don't think I need to. I rewatched them pretty recently. It's less of a single fight, Quicksilver, and more of a series of fights, if you know what I mean. I don't want to get super specific. It's like a series of stuff, like a sequence, you know? Including some internal stuff. Do I do collaborations with other YouTubers? Do you know Tia Boo? I don't believe so, but I do. I do. Especially in the last couple of years, I've done quite a few collaborations. I've done a couple things with Fiji. I do stuff with Recon every few months. I did some with some One Piece creators, Drock Show, Randy Troy, the One Piece podcast. I was on the Reverie, so yeah, I do a decent amount of collaborations. Rita Dynamic Misato Shinji double S. Number 61. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Pre-time skip. So, episodes 1 to 15, I believe? Something like that. I don't remember the exact episodes. Rated character name Kaido and Odin? S. So, yeah. Pre-time skip Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. An incredible introduction to the story. I think essentially the beginning and end of this arc is all fixated around Kamina, where everything else kind of revolves around him in a really, like, he just has such gravity and magnetism that everything revolves around him and really sells how much of a larger-than-life symbol he is, while also showing really, really great subtle little touches to show his insecurities. His dynamic with Simon is immediately legendary and one of my favorite ever. Great evolution for Simon. One of the most devastating episodes of anime I've ever seen. And I guess the reason it's like below 60 arcs on this list, I do think that it can go a bit over the top with certain elements of the silliness, but at the same time, that's a stylistic element of it that I wouldn't change for the world because of how it does a lot of interesting thematic things and establishes things structurally to then integrate with Kamina and then subvert things. It does really cool things with the lighthearted, silly style that while in the micro some bits of execution are not to my speed in points, I nonetheless think it's just really well structured, really well plotted, really entertaining, really fun, and just like a legendary, iconic beginning to an adventure in half of the story. I can't believe it, Struggler. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So yeah, do I lump post time skip together in one arc? Gurren Lagann I have as 2 arcs, yeah. Is Can't Fear Your Own World considered as an arc for this list? Good question. No, it's not. Good question, though. Johan and Anna as a character dynamic? S? Probably S. Yeah, because it's in a light novel, I didn't think of it. Did I split Conviction and Lost Children? As always, we'll see. We'll see. That's another one of those. Now, number 60... is a culmination of a bunch. Another Monogatari arc. Essentially the Sodachi arc, which I think is a mix of... To me, it is a mix of 3 arcs. Hey, Boostic. It is a mix of 3 arcs for me. And it is one of my favorite plot lines and through lines of the entire series. The introduction of Sodachi, and the culmination of who she is and her arc and her backstory and how it intersects with Araragi and what it means to be happy despite incredibly unhappy circumstances and traumatic events in one's past, and to look at the future with bright, open eyes. Is that all in Owari? I think so. I think this is all in Owari Part 1. This is a lot of people, from what I can tell, this is near a lot of people's top of the list for a lot of people when it comes to Monogatari. And I totally understand why. It's near the top of my list, too. It's in my favorites list. And Sodachi is one of the best characters to me. Also, one of Marina Inoue's very best roles in the anime. I haven't read this. She sells Sodachi incredibly well. Yeah, and as well as being a story about Sodachi, like Struggler says, it is so tied to Araragi as a character. It's a lot of the reason why he acts the way he does is found in this way, and subtextually tells you a lot about him. So yeah, this is one of the highlights of Monogatari. I do want to do another bet soon, but the next 2 kind of go hand in hand. And I don't think a bet for them would really make sense. Okay, I'll do a bet between 55 and 56. So the next 2 is for a series that I need to reread almost more than any series. More than almost any series. And that is Vagabond. 58 and 59 are the Kojiro arc from Vagabond and the farming arc from Vagabond. Honestly, there's not much need to mute. However, I get it. I'll say some vague stuff. But the reason why I need to reread is because I have lots of thoughts and feelings and drifting abstract ideas about these arcs, but nothing's solid. I'm not confident about anything, and that's kind of the Vagabond experience. I feel like Vagabond's a series that you kind of need to read twice to fully have your thoughts settle on it. But what I do know is that both of these arcs are really great and diverse. Yeah, I get it, Struggler. Um, really, really incredible in very different ways. I think the Kojiro arc really beautifully establishes the sort of regality and elegance and spiritual, lyrical beauty of the character of Kojiro. It's like the pages just kind of melt away as you go through that arc. And it's just a really poetic, transcendent experience, which is a lot of Vagabond, but especially with the Kojiro stuff. So much so that part of the reason why I don't feel very confident in this is because, like, you just drift through it in a way. I have very little basis in anything super solid. Yeah. And then farming is such a beautiful encapsulation of Musashi and what it means to, like, what it meant for him to understand what the culmination of his life at that point was, what it meant to mature, what strength meant, what strength truly meant. It just tied it up in a beautiful way. These are your top 2 in Vagabond, Trish? That's really cool. So yeah, 2 incredible arcs, both of which I need to reread because I don't have super solid thoughts on either. But I think that's also just part of the Vagabond experience. Any other stories you think you need to read twice to settle your feelings on? Not read, but I think a rewatch of Sangatsu would be good. Shogun assassination below Greed Island. You asked that as a question, but you know the answer. It's on screen. Are you asking why it's below it? I could answer if you're okay. Yeah. So the reason I think Greed Island's better than Shogun Assassination is because I think it's just an overall more refined, polished package. Shogun Assassination does have better payoff, like a more series-spanning payoff, bigger emotional highs. But I also think it has more flaws, and it is attached to a series wherein the full package is weaker than the full package of Greed Island. So its additive contribution is smaller as well. So I think just Greed Island being the more polished, refined overall package that does more gives me a greater appreciation for the broad idea of what it is, and also it being additive to, in my opinion, a better series helps a lot. The Wire, yeah. The Wire I want to rewatch, but in terms of Animanga, yeah. Does that make sense, Shiki? I love the fact that Owari means end, but it starts with the roots of the main duo for Season 1, because you need to understand the starting line to get to the destination. That's Monogatari in a nutshell, right? Always changing, yet always staying the same. The cycles of one's life, going into a new rebirth, using things that you learned from your last rebirth, what it means to come of age, adolescence, all that sort of thing. It's one of my favorite things about it. Vagabond reread? I really hope so. I'm sure it will. Fiji asked me if I'd be down to reread Vagabond on stream. And I said, there are reasons I don't want to, but there are also reasons I want to. There's no visual novels in this list. I think you can argue that basically no, Red Reclaimer. Rakugo is not on this list. But I think you could argue that Rakugo is divided into Season 1 and 2, but ultimately, my love for it, it's hard for me to evaluate them in competition with one another and other arcs, so I just kind of look at Rakugo as one series, despite the divide. It was a tough one. I was really considering putting it on, but despite the divide, it's kind of a full package for me. Gotcha, it's more so you didn't really love Gintama as a whole, so these arcs couldn't hit as hard? No. I love Gintama. I just love Hunter x Hunter more, and think it's quite a bit better. In addition to everything else I said, like, I think Greed Island delivers in 20 different ways, and I think Shogun Assassination delivers in much more focused ways, but also has flaws in other ways. Like, I have some issues with the tonality in the first few episodes of Shogun Assassination, and I think Greed Island is just a more impressive overall body of work with all the things it does. So again, like I said, there will be no visual novel arcs. No visual novel arcs. This is just Animanga. Double S, Elijah. No visual novel arcs, yeah. Jisai and Kojiro. See, for me, Elijah, it is Matahachi and Musashi, but I feel like that's one that could really elevate a lot for me on reread. I'd really like it. Yes, Shiggy, that's what I do with these lists. I was just talking about you, Fiji. I was just talking about the reread. How I need to reread. How maybe these, like, how Vagabond needs to be read twice, for me at least. And my thoughts on these are not settled at all, and they could go higher. They could go lower, I guess. But they could go higher. It's very... The Vagabond placings in this list are very... very... flexible. I'm sure, Gil. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, tentative. Tentative for now. When I reread, I think I'll have more solid thoughts on exactly, but this is where they go for now. Maybe Kane. Maybe. Although The Wire being top 2 is not impossible, but it's very hard. Succession and Black Sails. I mean, that's tough competition. And they are 2 and 3. As of the last top 100. Hey, Stevie. Okay, so someone asked before, about if there's tiers in this list. There are indeed tiers in this list. This ends the first tier. And that is the oh boy tier. Bear with me, please. You might understand the trend here. You might understand the trend. Okay. The next arc I love so much.
Oh boy.
Is this the trend? Maybe, Trish? Very good, very good. Very good. God, I'm having fun. It's been almost a year. Like, I'm glad we can do a ranking stream outside of the top 100 so I don't have to wait a year. Welcome in, Hades. Indeed. Thank you, Trish, for the 100 bits. Did I already rank any Haikyuu arcs? Yes, you can see on screen. There's a Haikyuu arc in honorable mentions, and there's also a Haikyuu arc at number 69. Simba, please watch Black Sails. Please. I think you'll really like it. How much of the time did it take you to do this list thinking about the tier titles? No time at all, to be honest. I did it this morning. I was in the shower and I'm like, I should name the arc, the tiers. Huh. Who's waiting for the Tokyo Ghoul mention? Already done. Tokyo Ghoul is twice here. It's somewhere here. Aogiri Tree is here, and Kano's Lab is here. Right here. So Tokyo Ghoul already mentioned. Oh, you're watching with them, Chill? Oh, that's so cool. I know there's been a rewatch happening. That's cool, that's cool. Oh, I'm sorry, Hades. I'm glad it works now. Oh boy, tier naming while showering. Peak inspiration. So, number 57. I actually don't know how many people would include this one in if they were to do a favorite arcs list, but it's definitely here for me. And that is the Tokyo Expedition from Haikyuu. So this is the first half of Season 2 of Haikyuu. One of the greatest training arcs I've ever seen. I think very slightly ahead of Greed Island, just I think for the sheer volume of emotional things it does. This, I think, is one of the foundations of Haikyuu. Haikyuu does not work fundamentally without these 12 episodes, however many chapters they were. Hey, Mandarina. Tokyo Expedition is so unbelievably incredible. Tsukishima is not the peak character he is without that. Not nearly. The connection between Karasuno and Nekuma is not nearly as substantial as it is without this. Yamaguchi's arc, nothing without this. Like, this is everything. This is the foundation of so many things. Yachi gets introduced here. One of the greatest of all time. My queen. And her arc, honestly, Yachi's little bit gets me so emotional with her mother. Waiting for Kagurabachi? I believe Kagurabachi was done already. Was it not? Hold on, let me just double check. It should have been done already. Yeah, it's... Yeah, Rakuzaichi's right here. In honorable mentions. But anyways, Rakuzaichi, amazing arc. Unreal arc. It's very comfortable. Yeah, it's very comforting, like Rashina says. Bokuto and Akashi's relationship, the stuff with, it just does so many building blocks. It is the ugly breakdown part of the evolution, because evolution is ugly, right? You need to break down before you can build up again. This is Karasuno becoming more flawed, breaking themselves down, their fundamentals, becoming, raising their ceiling through reinventing themselves, their hunger, Noya learning to set, Asahi, the synchronized attack, all the different elements that they put together to improve as a team, and then how it all comes together, and all the relationships. It's so dense. There's a dynamic everywhere. There's the Hinata Tsukishima stuff that is very underlying. But then overlying stuff of Hinata and Kageyama's conflict, and Tsukishima and Yamaguchi, and Akiteru is great in this. This is so good. This is just like peak training arc 101 right here. True, Tuta. You're right. My sub notification, let me replay it, is from this arc. Thank you, Thomas. Let me replay that. It's from this arc. Thank you, Thomas, for the 45 months. The amazing arc that also doubles as therapy when they're at the training camp. I can see a lot of peak already, indeed. Thank you so much, Thomas. Welcome in. The barbecue, basically how their relationships are summed up through Nekomata. They do count as an arc, damn Danny. It's just hard for me to rank it with so much unknown, But they do definitely count as an arc. I just don't know where to put it. Welcome in, Time Lord. Prediction on tier names. Heart and Soul, Generational, Lives Were Changed, Peak Fiction, Kino, Oh Boy. Interesting. Good predictions. Is Succession War going to be in here? I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's always my answer. Is something going to be on this list? Gotta wait and see. Wouldn't I lump it in with Elbath? Yes, but I can't rank it because I'm doing One Piece. Sorry, maybe you weren't here. You weren't here in the beginning because One Piece I'm only doing in sagas. I'm not doing individual arcs. I'm doing in sagas, and the final saga has Egghead and Elbaf so far, but so much is up in the air, you know. Whiskey Peak? Yeah. No worries, damn Danny. Sorry, I should repeat some of the rules every once in a while. But something being incomplete doesn't mean it can't be on the list. There are multiple incomplete arcs on this list. For sure, Stevie. I think Ball Boy is much more Hinata-centric, which it should be, because the rest of the team is thriving. The rest of the team knows what they need to do and just need to refine it. But Hinata needs to do what the rest of the team do during the Tokyo Expedition during Ball Boy. You know one incomplete arc that's on this list? Interesting. Okay. I do as well. You guys want to do another bet? This is another fun one. Any Tokyo Ghoul gonna be on this list? Again, we'll have to wait and see. There's a couple of Tokyo Ghoul arcs in the honorable mentions. Will War for Parody include every episode and chapter till the end? We'll have to wait and see. Everything in its own time. So you're waiting to see if there's any Bleach arcs in here. So far, no. Is Chimera Ant going to be on this list? No. Fuck that arc. Okay. Enjoy the VOD, Stevie. Okay. So this is funny. So whoa, sorry for the numbering. Ignore that numbering, that means nothing. I'm serious, that didn't mean anything. I don't know what happened there. So, the International Assassins arc, Gun Devil arc, and Control Devil arc from Chainsaw Man. The last three arcs combined, because to me, I have no idea how to separate that shit. It all works together. I cannot separate my feelings throughout them. Okay? From Chainsaw Man Part 1. Or Reze / Bomb Devil. Arc. So I'll be honest, I think you can probably understand why. Reze arc was nowhere near this list before the movie. Not to say it wasn't good. I think it's very good. It's a very good arc. But it was like, for me, a light 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it a lot. The movie, what? I don't know what. They just got every member of the staff behind this movie just was injected with peak fiction presentation juice. I don't know what was going on with that, but they just made it, elevated it so much for me. All the songs, Iris out in the beginning, what's it called? Jane Doe at the end. All the direction, all the music, Ushio's soundtrack, unbelievable, out of this world. It elevated it from a, like I said, like a light 8 out of 10 to one of my favorite arcs. I'm honestly so stunned and so happy at how good that movie was. This movie has been in my mind, well, I just saw it like a month ago, so it hasn't been in my mind for a long time. But like, I don't think I saw it a month ago. I haven't stopped thinking about it. Every day I've thought about it. I go on my evening walk. I have the music playing and I'm crying. Like, it is so good. Guys, if you have not seen this, please see this movie if you can. Like, it is so good. It is everything an adaptation should be. Oh, I know, Drunk Eldian. So these two arcs are hand in hand. They are neck and neck for me. I think if you look at the source material, the International Assassins, Gun Devil, and Control Devil, which is the end of the series, is comfortably better. But the presentation of the movie puts them neck and neck. Yeah, I get that, Gil. It's so incredible. If it wasn't near this list before, it could still be below Gun Devil, but the movie tax is making it tempting to vote for. It's a tough one. So I do think if the adaptation for this stuff is even half as good as it is for the, maybe 3/4 as good as it is for the Reze movie, like, this will elevate. This will elevate for sure. But as it stands, that's still TBD. And as it stands, they are neck and neck. So, let's do the question. Which is higher? Reze from Chainsaw Man, or, oh my god, I can't fit this in. Twitch doesn't let me fit this in. Last 3 arcs together of Chainsaw Man. It's on screen. It's on screen. Was Katana Man close to being an honorable mention? Probably, yeah. Probably. Chainsaw Man part finale. I should have said that. Would I say that the movie made me love Chainsaw Man again, or are parts 1 and 2 divorced from one another in your mind? Parts 1 and 2 are absolutely divorced from one another for me. So I think the movie did make me remember how much I do love part 1. I think it did, chill. First choice is the end of part 1, yeah. The last, I don't know how many chapters, but it's the last 3 arcs on the wiki. For my betting choice, did they both make me emotional? Yes, they did, but Reze, I think, no, they both did. Pretty much equally. Maybe in terms of, like, being evocative through the presentation, Reze's a bit higher. But they do both make me emotional. Like, a lot of that Achian power stuff really gets to me. No, that's fair, Drunk Eldian. That's very fair. Honestly, I think I might have put all of part 1 of Chainsaw Man together. But the movie really makes Reze's arc feel like its own thing. You know what I mean? It feels separate from the rest of the series to me because of the way the movie presents it. Someone else mentioned, like, what are some adaptations that really elevate the source material for you? Attack on Titan's final, like, movie. Attack on Titan's final movie. Or, like, the 90-minute special, whatever. Haikyuu seasons 2 and 3 specifically. Beastars seasons 1 and 2 and 3.5. Yeah, certain Naruto episodes. Yeah, Reise's very self-contained, yeah. Not confident, but fuck it, we ball, let's go. Okay, what do we got? 68% say Reze, and 32% say last 3 arcs. The answer is... Bro, we want to see what's the top 55. Okay, we can... I'm suddenly struck with the urge to not show you 55. Do we? No one wants to see it. No, I'm flattered. Here, I'll show you 55. It feels like a hazy memory you remember fondly, even if you don't remember the details, that singular moment of connection in their youth that exists outside of time. That's very That's very poetically said. Yeah, it's very, it feels like a nostalgic, it reminds me of fleeting moments of my school life, you know? It's so good. The music is a huge part of that. Stream done. Okay, here we go. Boom. There you go, there's 55. The answer is the final 3 arcs. Just about. Just about. Because there's just so much in there. There's so much peak in there. Recency bias, bros, we lost? Sorry. The emotionality question, Gamut? I'm sorry. Oh, wait, you might have won. I don't remember. I don't know if that was a positive or a negative. You won, okay, there you go. Yeah, and honestly, can I just say I'm really glad that Chainsaw Man is in this list. Reze arc did wonders on me. Reze arc movie, it reminded me of the really special parts of this series. And it is a bit unfair, like, not unfair, but like, those 3 arcs together is so much. I've got my love back. Yeah, me too, gaming. Very, very base Scrutely. Yeah, Elijah, like, so many people, like, weekly tell me about them thinking about the Reze arc movie. And it's like, yeah, it's so special. I do love the snowball fight. If the snowball fight didn't exist, Kane, it'd probably be below this, below Reze. Is there a particular reason you count International Assassins with the latter two? I never read them as being so connected before. It just feels connected. For me to divide it feels like arbitrarily dividing a section of story that, to me, merges with it. Thematically, in terms of flow, like, I think Chainsaw Man is, like, the most bingeable series out there. It's so easy to binge, and the arcs just blend into one another. So for me, even though, like, the subject matter is very different, I think the themes stay consistent, the intrigue about Makima stays very consistent, and directly feeds into Gun Devil stuff, which then directly feeds into Control Devil. It just feels right for me for them to be together. I know. Chainsaw Man, I really hope they adapt the rest of the series really well, and I'm sure they will, but I'm also dreading it in a way. Chainsaw Man can be really miserable. Anyways. Number 54. This is a classic. This is a classic. This is something that stuck with me for years and years and years. Yeah, and the thing is, it also juxtaposes that, Elijah, with, it also juxtaposes that with really genuine, bombast, you know? The stylistics of Chainsaw Man. Okay. Number 54. The Promise Day. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Thank you for the follows. Incredible, amazing ending to the story. I do think that this is actually an arc that, if I read it in the manga, might actually hit harder. Because I think there are moments in it, in the anime, where I think it lingers a bit more than it needs to, where I could have been like, oh, this could hit a bit more if we were a bit tighter, maybe. But nonetheless, tiny nitpick, I think it's one of the most iconic, legendary, great examples of payoff. It does everything I wanted it to do for Father, for Hohenheim, for Ed and Al and their conclusion, for Greed and Ling, Roy Mustang, Scar. One of the greatest final arcs. It's pretty much like, if you think of an all-encompassing, comprehensive conclusion, it's hard to get, like, there's not a stone unturned here to me. I think it does everything it needs to, and it does it with immense quality. FMA is weird to divide into arcs for me, but I can divide Briggs into an arc, and I can divide this into an arc. Maybe, Elijah. Maybe. Could happen. Who's to say it isn't now? You think there's some Dragon Ball arcs that could be ahead of Great Greed Island? Really? It's very seamless, yeah. You don't remember any of that? I remember it very vividly, but FMA is a series for me where it's like, I do want to check out the manga. As it's about to be, like, eliminated. Is it still on the cusp of elimination? It might be. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe Golden Kamui is on the cusp. Let's edit this. Oh, no. 5 got sent to both. Man, it's neck and neck. Look at that. It's literally ahead by 200 bits. I'm super excited for Dragon Ball. I'm super excited. And I want to see it, like I said, in a different context. For anyone who isn't aware, this is the competition. This is the vote sub-bit competition for the next manga read-through after Tokyo Ghoul Re, which will be, like, in a few months, or early 2026 or so. And you vote through subs and bits and support, through which series you want to be eliminated. So as it stands, we're going to be tallying this at end of stream tomorrow. FMA is currently eliminated. Greed Island is nice, but it's completely outdone by other Hunter x Hunter arcs that it honestly doesn't seem that good. To me, Greed Island is kind of for everything it wants to do, kind of a borderline masterpiece. Like, the more I hear people's problems with Greed Island, the more I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but I disagree so strongly. Like, I'm just more confident in how good it is. I'm curious, why maybe... If you don't like Greed Island, why do you think it's bad? Yeah, I don't see any issues either. I think Chimera Ant has more issues than Greed Island. And Election. Succession War. I think Succession War and Chimera Ant have more problems than Greed Island. Oh, that's too bad, Nero. Hopefully I'll like them when I read them. It's just less interesting. Not soft seinen enough? Fair. It drags too long? The exposition in the manga? That's interesting. Huh. I see. So it just seems like you're just more interested in other arcs, which, like, that's fair. Will I talk about Chimera Ant's problems when I get to it? If you want me to, sure. I think Chimera Ant's problems are really minimal, but I do have a couple. That's fair, Chill. Genthru is definitely an acquired taste, and I've never I've never said that Genthru is, like, a masterpiece of a character. I don't think he is. But I think he's good, maybe very good, and exactly what the arc needs. But he's not, like... He doesn't have the fascinating psychology of Chrollo, or the magnetism of Chrollo, or Hisoka, or Periston, or, like, the aura and threat, ominous threat of Seti, or Morena, or the, you know, beauty in the character arc of Meruem. Like, he just is more... He just has less, you know? Yeah, I get that. Greed Island has a less of a high ceiling for people. And to me, it's just like, it does everything it needs to and delivers full throttle, incredible material, executes very, very well in every department it needs to, and it does way more than I think people realize a lot of the time. So anyway, I did my blurb about Greed Island. Thanks for the answers. I guess it's just like, it just comes down to what you find entertaining. And what do you find comparatively compelling? He stands out because every other antagonist is peak and he's just meh in comparison. That's funny. Anyways, I talked about Greed Island already. I was just curious because this wasn't brought up earlier. But yeah, I get that. I get that. I think I used to, when I first watched it, I was a fan, but I could somewhat see that. Dragging a bit. I see. I think the manga pacing might be better. Or might be a little tighter. From what I remember, it is tighter. Okay. Okay. I think Greed Island's the perfect setup for Chimera Ant. Definitely took a rewatch for me to love it, as much as I do, to really see the subtle hints it gives to Gon's psychology and how it could go wrong in the future. The way Gon constantly rides the border of being okay and too destructive is so fascinating to me. The other characters play into that as well, like Killua, Hisoka, Bisky, Genthru, and even Jing indirectly. The indirect Jing stuff is so fascinating. I'm curious to see if you make a video about Genthru, because I don't really get him. Luckily for you, I did 7-8 years ago. Just look up Alexander Genthru. Already done. I totally agree with Trish, yeah. It sums up a lot of my thoughts on it. Razor as well is really, really good. Thank you, Trish. Same, Lolo. We'll get to it. Spoilers, Chimera Ant is in the list. Dodgeball match, based. Dodgeball match is probably the peak. Bro, we want to see the top 50? I'm honored, wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, well here you go, number 53. Ah! Right on the reveal! Right on the reveal! The second Berserk arc listed, I believe. Fantasia. I'll let that sit while I say thank you, Hollow Ryuka. Thank you so much, Hollow Ryuka. Thank you very, very much. That goes towards Golden Kamui. Thank you so much for the 10 bomb. Slap that on Golden Kamui. We're trying to keep FMA in it. Chaos. Good God. Ryuka's trying to keep FMA in it. Thank you so much for the 10 bomb. If you got one, please enjoy. Thank you for coming out to these streams. I really, really love doing streams like that, like this, and just gushing about a lot of my favorite arcs and stories and characters and stuff. So thank you so much for all your constant support and beautiful art, Ryuka. Thank you so much. Oh, Bea, you're hyped for number 29 and 16? Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay. Both are amazing arcs. So, Fantasia Berserk. No worries at all, Ryuka. Please don't be sorry. This is one I actually kept going back and forth about with its placement. I think it could be higher. I think it could be higher, but I think I settled here. No, you know what? It's higher. It's higher, but let's talk about it now. It's a little bit higher than this. It's a little bit higher than this. It is at least 52. Actually, it's quite a bit higher. You know what? Because you know what? I forgot that... Oh my gosh!
Chaos.
Because guys, the spring, literally my tattoo is in that section. And I didn't even incorporate it. Oh, shit. Okay, it's higher. You know what? Let me get to the resubs in a second. You know what? Literally one of the greatest sections of manga in general to me. That gives it an upgrade. I literally forgot. When I think of Fantasia, this is without a... I didn't forget about... I forgot about my... I'm such a fraud. Thank you so much, Trish, for gifting 10 subs to the community. Likewise, I'll see during a break or something. I'll see where those go towards. Thank you so much, Trish, for the 10 bomb. Like for like with Ryuka. Thank you so much, Trish. You can't let Golden Kamui lose? Damn. The competition's fierce. Thank you so much. If you got one, please enjoy. Say a couple of you have already said thank you. I'll talk about Fantasia in a second. It's not 53 anymore. Thank you, Ryuka, for the additional 5 to make it a 15 bomb. So, as it stands, oh my gosh, thank you so much, Ryuka. So 15 are added to Golden Kamui, and 10 are added to FMA. So as it stands, Golden Kamui is heading out. Just as it stands. We'll see tomorrow. Maybe you can let it loose. We'll see. We'll see. He's understanding what Shanks told him. He gave up his arm for the sake of a new era. Just like Joseph. Thank you guys so much for contributing. Thank you so much. And there's plenty of time to go still. What are the options to vote again? You can check in the votes doc, Javok. It's available for everyone. Just scroll down a little bit. It's a wonderful saga about going back to the wonderful and childhood dreams and innocence of life. Everything goes so well together in that regard. The world becomes beautiful in a pure way, and it's the perfect way to continue the story there of Fantasia. Right. So, when at the end of Falcon of the Millennium Empire, shit hits the fan, and everything of our imagination is unleashed, and there is a darkness in that. Thank you so much. There is a darkness in that, and there's a beauty in that. And a lot of Fantasia shows us, I think, the beauty of that. And the way... Thank you so much, Silver Shadow. Thank you so much, Silver, for 13 months. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Maud's Choice. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mankind's Desire, right? That's a double-edged sword, but the beauty of it, the fantastical nature of it, the magic that feels... You know, you take what you see in Fantasia in terms of magic and compare it to the stuff earlier in the series, and it feels almost like a different series, right? Outside of some... You know, compared to Black Swordsman, it feels like a different series, but the gradual evolution to it is so organic and beautiful. I also love the change in Miura's art style to reflect the more, like, probably the most peaceful part of Guts' life at the same time. The party can just exhale, and there's a beauty in Guts just being able to go, I'm thankful for this life. There's something so exquisitely beautiful about that. Right, Full Metal? Everything here is amazing. It's exquisite to me. It's exquisite. And what do I think about the criticism, the amount of time on the boat? Honestly, a non-criticism to me. I think that my main my limitation or criticism for Fantasia is just like some of the sequences are just less interesting. Like the pirate stuff, some sections of landing on the island is just not as interesting comparatively. Thank you, Javok, for the 12 months. Welcome to the Year Club. Thank you so much, Javok. But as for the time on the boat, I actually think the time on the boat is really, really exceptional. Like, the sequences of Guts just at night looking out. Just looking out at the night sky with the same night sky that he looked at when he was suffering. Completely different mindset. The line of things cannot be the same when you try to put them back together. Do you have any arcs that people rate highly that you completely dislike? Probably, yeah. Yeah, the boat stuff is so good. I cannot relate less to the criticism. And then there's Casca's, then there's the, what's Memories of Spring, I forget the exact arc name. For the mini bit. Spring Flowers of Distant Days. Literally so impactful to me with Chich and Guts at a younger part of his life that I got a tattoo of it for the fleeting ephemeral beauty of these moments in our lives that maybe you just reflect on them just fleetingly for no apparent reason. I don't know, it's so incredibly beautiful. It all coalesces in an arc that, like, just the two words that come to mind are peace and beauty. Peace of mind, you know? Despite there being a lot that isn't peaceful, you know? But I just love to have Guts in that place of his life at this point in the story. And then that last chapter, Miura's last chapter, one of the greatest in the whole series. And in a weird way, one of the best ways to end Miura. Like, if there was going to be a chapter, there's a weird fatal aspect. It feels like a weird element of fate that ended up being the final chapter. Like, it feels strangely fitting, in a way. Thank you, C5, for the 7 months with Prime. Thank you, Red One, for gifting a sub to the community. Thank you, everyone. I don't know what was happening, but I'm so glad you can join us, C5. So, Guts having an actual beautiful encounter with the supernatural world before the Baylet, and Apostle legit makes me emotional. Right! And it shows him the beauty to juxtapose the cruelty. You know? Yeah, Kane, please chill a little bit. The joke was funny the first couple times. But this is 53. I actually really quickly checked, and I think it's actually for me. 48. I think it's 48. It is top 50. Oh, that's beautiful, Weir. Oh, that's really beautiful. Number 53 is Nomad, which is Season 2 of Megalobox. I've talked a lot about this one. It's a masterpiece. It is, to me, the perfect answer to Season 1. It is a rebuttal to Season 1. It gives us elements of the characters that I never imagined the series would cover. And to me, it's the best part of Megalobox, for sure. The Megalonia Season 1 was in the honorable mentions. This is, in many ways, the perfect sequel. It's so special. It's so exceptional. It's so beautifully presented and spiritual and peaceful, and at the same time full of sadness and grief, but also full of symbolism and metaphors that illustrate the way forward, and what it means to move on from pain. And yeah, it's just a really special series that keeps you guessing until the very end. But there is the hummingbird and the nomad, the metaphor for that. I actually made a video about that, like Fable. Yeah, it's quite special. It's quite special. Nomad is exceptional. It's exceptional. If you haven't seen Megalobox, you want a really, really interesting sort of bit of a callback and traditional, but at the same time is quite subversive sports series. Megalobox is, you can't get better, I don't think. Number 52. Number 52. Oh, you want to bet? Again? You want to bet? This is fun. This is a good one. Orb is not on this, Mila. Orb is not on this. Orb is funny because it can easily be divided into arcs, but I don't look at it that way. Like, I kind of see it as a bunch of vignettes that work together as one story. I don't know. Okay. This is between 52 and 53. Okay. Clash of the Titans, Attack on Titan. Oh, Attack on Titan, not of. No, Nino's Thighs. This is Animanga. Or Uprising. So this, to be clear, this is all of Season 2 is Clash of the Titans. And Part 1 of Season 3. Most of Part 1 of Season 3. Technically, it cuts off at Bystander, I believe? But in my mind, it's basically Season 3, Part 1. According to the wiki, that's what it cuts off at. For me, it's basically Season 3, Part 1. So, two very, very different arcs. Two arcs that I think are essential to Attack on Titan, and honestly, both I think are kind of underrated in some ways. Maybe not. I don't know fandom reception, but in my experience. So, Season 2 versus Season 3.1. 3.1. Part 1. There you go. Very difficult, right? This means we're getting every Attack on Titan arc here? No. Female Titan's not on it. The Female Titan's in the honorable mentions. Struggle for Trust is in honorable mentions. I think the prologue isn't included. I kind of count it as one. So we have a bet. So I think, so Uprising, the anime definitely fumbles. It definitely undercuts elements of Levi's character, Mikasa's character, but also Historia to a great degree. I don't know what it tried to do with the pacing. It wasn't very good. It just made it diluted and less rich and interesting to me. Uprising is Season 3, Part 1, Struggler. This is the adaptation. It's both. It's both. It's like the best cumulative version. Armin has a cutscene? I don't recall that one off the top of my head, but it cuts a lot of stuff that it shouldn't cut. But I'm talking primarily about the best version of it, which is primarily the manga for Uprising. And it's such an incredibly good arc. It broadens the scope, gets much more politically and much more ground level in a way that I think is essential for later things that are to come. Kenny is unbelievable in one of the theses of the series. It has what is in the conversation for the best chapter in the series, in Friend. Oh yes, yeah, you're right, Fiji. Yeah. Right. He goes a little psycho. He goes a little insane. Um, goes a little psychopathic, right? Um, yeah. Um, but great stuff for Levi and his upbringing. And it just broadens things in a way that sets the foundations for the really good stuff later on, while also giving like incredible stuff for Erwin. This beautiful revolution and uprising. Great stuff for Historia. It just does so many great things as an arc that I really appreciate. That just grows and grows. And Clash of the Titans is like a bunch of everything. It's a bunch of everything. It deepens and broadens things. It fleshes out characters that I'm so glad it fleshes out that the Season 1 material in the earlier arcs just doesn't really have time for, which I get. Like Connie, like Sasha, Bertolt, Reiner, Emir, Historia, they all get really interesting, good stuff that makes them more substantial, which I really appreciate. The trio kind of take a back seat a little bit, but they're also really essential at the same time. The Armor Titan, Colossal Titan reveal remains to this day, one of the greatest reveals in anything to me. Bertolt is so haunting in this arc. His expression right before they transform there. Scream is one of my favorite episodes of anything. Scream is sublime. My god. Erwin Susume! Oh my god. Season 2 is incredible, man. And, like, I just don't see it really talked about in terms of a lot of the peaks of the series, which I think it should be. At least in certain sequences. And there's some recontext. There's more questions. Erwin gets expanded upon with regards to the dark purity of his dream. My pleasure came. And the adaptation's fantastic too. Also, there's like lovely little quiet moments, like Mikasa and Armin, also Hannes. Mikasa and Armin going, why does Eren always go off without us? Oh, man. Yeah, the anime restructures things in a way that people don't really like sometimes, but I don't really have much of a problem. So, 78% said Uprising, despite me being a bit more enthusiastic in my description of Clash of the Titans. And you were right. You were right. Congratulations, Uprising crew. I totally agree, Drunk Eldian. Uprising is a parallel to War for Paradis in a way that's, like, I guess more small scale, more ground level. But, like, a lot of the scenes, yeah, Hanji and Sonus then reflects later to a lot of the things that our characters have to deal with in a much grander scale. Oh, okay, I see, Trish. I see. Makes sense. But yeah, yeah, Kenny Uri is out of this world. I adore Bystander. I adore Shadis. It's just a really incredible arc with some of the biggest peaks in the series. But Clash of the Titans, like, they're neck and neck. Wow, congrats, Arc. Carla, do you guys remember? Yes, Thomas. He's already great. He's already special. Because he was born into this world. With the ED playing, moves me to tears every time. Let me change this song. Oh, Akatsuki no Requiem. Unreal. Okay. Next up, very special arc. Top 50, very special arc. Yes, I love the really messy darkness it gives Levi, Drunk Eldian. As a duo to me, because I think they fulfill one another, Nariko Medusa and Hitagi End from Monogatari. The core of why I talked about how Nariko Draw is the conclusion for Nariko. This is the core of why she, to me, is one of the best characters in the series. So beautifully established, incredibly meta presented arc. Great use of elements of unreliable narrator, great use of perspective. Also, the soundtrack in this arc is one of the highlights of any arc in Monogatari. It's incredibly done. The way the OP reverses upon itself from Nariko Snake to Nariko Medusa, and then the payoff and Kaiki and Hitagi. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, man. And the way it tackles themes of what it means to create, the pain of creating. Very, very relatable for me. Tackled with an incredible rawness that I find very sympathetic and hits close to home at the same time. It's just all around one of the highlights of Monogatari. And I adore Nariko. But this is also where Kaiki shines the most to me. Personally. Really, Elijah? Interesting. I don't know if I'd agree. Huh. Yeah, Hitagi End. Some people have Hitagi End as the best arc in Monogatari and one, like, literally top 5. I need to repeat. Any one of these are arcs I love. We're into solid, not like solid to strong 9 out of 10s. I totally understand having any of these like super high. It's just how it shakes out. It's just how my taste goes. But like, it's a beautiful, beautiful arc for me. I know, yeah, the dialogue there. Oh, it's so good, Drunk Eldian. I love Kaiki. Kaiki and Nariko are my 2 and 3 in Monogatari. Second and third favorite. In the whole series. So this arc hits. Is number 1 Araragi Shinobu? Sorry, those aren't dynamics, Fluffy. Those are just individual characters. So Nariko's probably number 2, Kaiki's number 3. Number 1 is Shinobu. Hello, Andres. Hello. Praying for Koyomi Vamp and Mayoi Jiangshi? We'll see. Number 49 is actually shocking to me. I'm actually shocked that number 49 is what it is. I'm so glad that I can say this, to be honest. Yeah. Number 49. You guys literally saw me fall in love with this in real time. 86 chapters into Kagurabachi, the Swordbearer assassination arc is everything I dreamed it would be, and more. Obviously, won't get into specifics. I know a lot of you guys probably haven't read it. Maybe people in the VOD. But let me just say, Hiruhiko changed my life. Chihiro changed my life last stream. Samura, my god. Iori, oh, some of the best dynamics. Some of the most and it all culminates in straight up one of the most emotional sequences I've experienced this year. Fiji, it is like that. This is the ongoing arc. I just put ongoing because it's not complete. It's ongoing, currently releasing, and I'm 86 chapters in. I am shocked at how much this arc spoke to me, at how good it was, at how much it paid off. In just 86 chapters, it paid off so beautifully. Recontextualized things, like imbued me with so much hope and feeling. I couldn't believe it. So, I cried. I cried, man. And it, honestly, 86 chapters isn't that much. It isn't that much for it to do this. It's just that good, man. It's just that good. Kagurabachi has the special sauce. So, Swordbearer Assassination arc, top 50. Is it recency bias? I don't think so. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it is. I thought a lot about this. This is more or less exactly where it should be, or in and around the top 50. Yeah. Rakuzaichi is in my honorable mentions. Kagurabachi was very good before this arc. But this arc is a shonen classic as far as I'm concerned. Is a creative, emotional, thematic culmination and masterstroke, I think. Sojo arc, yeah, it was on the cusp. It was on the cusp. It could be there. Let me put the Sojo arc. What's it called? Is it just called the Sojo arc? Versus Soja? Okay. Yeah. And, you know, I tweeted about this before. Kagurabachi's an easy series because of how wild everyone is about it. It's an easy thing for any Twitter to clown on. But man, I think it's genuinely reached a pretty special level with what it's done. I mean, it's top 50. They do to me, Raph. I tweeted immense praise for it, and lots of people got upset about that. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Zesty. So Fantasia, 48. Number 47? Okay. 47. This is like one of the most efficient, rich, dense arcs out there. To be clear, for everyone saying this is making them interested in the series, it starts off... People say that it starts off badly. I disagree. I think it starts off quite well. But it does start off rough around the edges in places. I think it can be kind of clunky. But there's substance and juice there from the beginning, and it just gets exponentially better. So if you read the first bunch of chapters and you're like, this is interesting, it gets better and better from there. Number 47. Oh. Hold on. Oh. How far from it are we? There we go. Hidden Inventory. I love this arc. The adaptation definitely elevates it for me. I think it's like the adaptation for Hidden Inventory is a dream of an adaptation. That shit is like, you can't get better, I don't think. Yeah, Struggler guessed it. To me, JJK for season 1's material is a good, at times, like, the peaks of it hit very good, but like overall a good manga / anime. The moment Hidden Inventory hits, I'm just like, ooh, I think this might be more than that. I think this might be special. And the way it accomplishes so much in such a small amount of time, what it does for the Gojo Geto dynamic, which to this day to me is one of the best in JJK, top 5 for sure. How much it does for Toji in such a short amount of time. The way it just works as this beautiful reflection of bygone days and the innocence of youth before being awakened to tragedy and the rougher elements of the setting that inevitably cause people to go in different directions. The tragedy and codependency in some ways of Gojo and Geto, but also the way that miscommunication made it so that it just led to ultimate tragedy. The loneliness of Gojo, the greatness, and what sets him up, what puts him on this pedestal that makes him lonely by choice. Toji is such an incredible character in such a small amount of time. What it does for JJK's world building, like I said, the adaptation, the OP, the ED, they contribute to my enjoyment. It's just, yeah, it's no problem, Struggler. Is this my favorite JJK arc? You guys gotta learn, man. Do you think I'm gonna give you an answer to that? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's, to me, this is like a masterclass in backstory. In flashback, backstory, arc retelling. Yeah, you guys are trying to get me to slip up. I ain't gonna do it. Yeah, so Hidden Inventory, you are my special. Well, you'll see, Roshan. You'll see. Yeah, I adore it. I adore it so much. And I think it's probably JJK at its most polished storytelling. I think it's shorter, so that it kind of makes sense, but I think start to finish, it's the most polished, most refined, most efficient, most rich per pound, you know? Least flaws. Oh, I hope you have fun, Roshanaz. I gotta wait till a couple of weeks from now. A week and a half, at least. JJ, I do wonder about that, Mandela. So yeah, Hidden Inventory, incredible. I love it so much. Let me know how many pounds JJK is. I don't... 5,000. Is Archipel Sabaudi in the top? Yes. I think I'll just... Maybe I should just answer those with... Instead of we'll see, maybe I'll just say yes. Number 46. Number 46. There we go. Bleach finally makes its appearance. Soul Society from Bleach. We went through this last year? Last year... Yeah, last year. I couldn't believe how good it was. I think this... Unless I'm mistaken, I could be forgetting something. But to me, this is like one of the best examples, if not the best example I can think of like a gauntlet arc where so much is communicated through the fights, through the subtext and communication through combat, where every little interaction, every little fight tells you more about Ichigo and the person he's fighting with, how Ichigo inexorably changes everyone he meets through these conflicts in a way that then echoes and reflects throughout the rest of the series. It's hype. There's, like, Aizen turns your brain in knots throughout the whole damn thing. Byakuya is fantastic. The visual storytelling with the Bankai, Kenpachi, yeah, the Byakuya cage. So many great stream moments, so thrilling, such pure distilled shonen. Gin, the introduction of Gin, oh my gosh. Renji's so good. Renji's so good in this arc. And the dynamic with him and Byakuya. Yeah, the Greed Island to Arrancar's Chimera Ant, exactly. It was a special... Streaming Bleach was a special experience, and Soul Society, I think Substitution Igami is very strong, but Soul Society is where I fell in love with Bleach. I don't think that's pretty much what everyone says, right? That's not a unique take at all. It's a normie take, but this is where I really fell in love with it, and really started cluing into a lot of what Kubo was doing. Yeah. It's just, and the art is so good. The art is so good. Substitution Igami, actually, I don't think I put in my honorable mentions. Let me put it here. And let me do Fall of Shiganshina. The art only improves for Bleach? I think I agree, but the thing is, Fiji's talked about this with me before, and I agree. I think I would less say that Kubo improves a lot of his art, and more so say that he changes it stylistically. Like, look at the art style of the end of Arrancar compared to Soul Society, and it is totally different. And I could totally understand someone preferring Soul Society to it. So I think in some elements he refines certain things with paneling, and I do think it improves. I do prefer it. I think the peak of it is in Thousand Year Blood War for me, but and the way he uses the medium. But at the same time, it's just very different stylistically, rather than the same style that improves. You know what I mean? No, for sure. It's the roughest, it's the most visceral as well, Fiji, which very much fits Soul Society. So, yeah, Soul Society is an iconic arc for good reason. It's a strong favorite, as you can see. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. It fires on multiple levels. It is an encapsulation of Ichigo, but so much more than that. It lays lots of foundations that are then paid off beautifully. It's a joy. I love Soul Society so much. When did I fall in love with 14? Shadowbringers. Next up, this is a cool one. This is a cool one. I don't know how many of you guys have actually watched this or read this. Is Thousand Year Blood War then your favorite arc still, since you're condensing it into a single placement instead of into sections? You know the answer to that, Tommen. Come on. You know the answer to that. You're asking me in a ranking stream if Thousand Year Blood War is my favorite arc? I guess we'll see. Let's go. No, the answer is I guess we'll see. Not yes. I guess we'll see. Top 5 stories you fell in love with the quickest? Haikyuu, Hunter x Hunter, Final Fantasy VII Re-Trilogy, fell in love with. Fate Zero? And I want to say Berserk, actually, I think. Naruto's very close, because Land of Waves is so good. Oops, sorry. It's not FF14, no. That was a slow one. Not AOT. AOT took me years to fall in love with. I think Berserk, yeah. Number 45. Top 5 stories I fell in love with the slowest. Final Fantasy XIV, Gintama. Honestly, Attack on Titan. It took me years, like I said. Took me years. Maybe One Piece in terms of chapter count? I really enjoyed it consistently, but I think I fell in love with it 200-something chapters in. Or maybe even 300. Ava's a great one. Yeah, Ava's a great one. Ava took me years as well. Monogatari took me years as well. I had to do multiple rewatches. Yeah, you got it, Power Flare. My Hero Academia. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's not quite the same thing, because I haven't fallen in love with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've fallen in love with Part 7, but not the full series. But that did take a little while. That took until you know that stretch. Top 5 stories that take a while to earn your love, or stories that earn your love immediately. Andres, did I answer that through both of those other top 5s? I might have answered that already. I don't know. Let me... Or could you reword? If I didn't answer them? Thank you. Thank you, Rania is on fire. There we go. It took me a second. Thank you, Rania is on fire, for the brand new Prime sub. That counts as 2 subs if you want to put it towards the manga contest. Up to you. But either way, welcome to the Waffle House. Thank you so much. Oh, it's a this or that. Sorry. Stories that take a while to earn your love, or stories that earn your love immediately. I don't have an answer to that. It's really contextual. I guess in general, it's better... I guess I just like loving things as quickly as possible. But overall, I don't have a preference, really. If I had to answer, I guess immediately. But it also hits really different when it does build. Yeah, me too, Simba. It took me a long time. Someone asked something. What was it about Monogatari that took you a while to love it? Would you say? I just didn't connect with it. I didn't find the emotional aspect of it all that impressive. The flaws really detracted a lot from it for me. Whereas nowadays, I definitely feel the flaws, and they're there, and they do detract, but they don't ruin my love for it. I think just being more open-minded to certain types of storytelling. Me too, Strange. That's true. I started watching Monogatari. Soul Society. Over all the other arcs under it is crazy, not gonna lie. You're right. You're right. Cashlor, can you give me your top 70 arcs so I can do the objective right arc list? So I'll be correct. Number 45. Number 45. Munich, the Munich arc from Monster. Let me just adjust something here. Which part of the series is this? This is, well, everything that happens in Munich. We shift, I don't remember which episodes it is. It's like early 20s to mid to late 30s or so. It's I get what you mean, Andres. It's probably the most, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. But this is to me the most thrilling part of the story. This is the part in Monster where I think I realized how much it meant to me, and it's where I felt like I was properly locking into to Johan as a character and the dynamic between Tenma and Johan. And it's where it really dawned on me how sort of archetypal and important Monster was as a series, and just the drama of the scene, the cataclysm, the fire, the walk, you know, that is iconic, that is seared in my brain. Roberto's great, the new characters in Munich are great, Schuvald is awesome, I love Tenma's reappearance, just all around a really masterful arc that to me is very definitive of what Monster is fundamentally, thematically. It's okay that I disagree. I don't mind people saying that they disagree with my rankings. Even if they say it's crazy, it's fun. Yeah, likewise. Like you said my rankings are crazy, I likewise, you know, I punch back. It's all good fun. If you say my rankings are crazy, I'm well within my rights to say, give me the right ranking then. You know, it's a jab to a jab. Nowhere did I say that it's, like, never in my life streaming have I ever said that it's wrong to disagree. But there are people that are more polite in disagreeing than you. You're not very super polite in disagreeing. So likewise, I'm going to jab back. I would prefer if you said it in a different way, of course. But it's not like I hate it or anything. Are any of your favorite Animanga not getting represented on this list at all due to not being arc structured? Yes, plenty. I mentioned them in the early part of the stream. Fate Zero, Rakugo, Ava, Ping Pong, stuff like that. I think Munich and Ruinheim feel like that for me in terms of feeling complete or holistic, whereas Prague and whatever the other arc is feel a bit more aimless, but not necessarily in a negative way, just not as rounded. Yeah, I feel the same way. I get what you mean. In a fun, yeah, crazy in a fun way? I actually would prefer, like, being real, I would prefer some people to think some of my rankings are crazy than everything predictable. Like Greed Island ahead of the culmination of Gintama. Someone didn't like that much. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Would I recommend the anime to a person who prefers the anime medium but is comfortable with reading manga, or is the anime too slow? The anime's great. The anime's great. I think it's a great adaptation. I think some people might think it's too slow. I don't, personally. Number 44. Oh, sorry. Top 5 non-standalone anime movies? End of Ava. Oh, Sarah, you would have some picks that people would riot in the streets about. I just know it. I know one in One Piece. I know some Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, it would be great. What's the next tier called? We'll get there when we get there. That's so funny, Pepino. Non-standalone anime movies. End of Ava, Reize. Non-standalone. I gotta think for a second. One Piece Baron Omatsuri? Oh, Oh, is Kizumonogatari a movie? I guess it counts. Yeah, Kizumonogatari. Gintama the Final? That's a great one, yeah. Hello, Tom. If the Attack on Titan movies count, then absolutely them. Say one nice thing about Douglas Bullet from One Piece Stampede. Literally don't remember who that is. Who is that? Stampede's fine. I don't really think it's great, and I've forgotten everything about it. Oh, it's the Antag! I don't know. I really have to dig deep to give you something for that. I've forgotten it. I liked what it did for Nami, and I think it was like a thematic encapsulation of certain broader stroke elements. That's kind of all I got. What does he look like? I forget. Guys, if I don't feel strongly about something, I forget about it right away. Oh, yeah. Don't remember anything about him. I like that he has headphones. It's really good, Tenryu. Top 5 innocent protagonists? What do you mean by that, Carrie? Oh, crap. I might be thinking of Strong World. I might have been thinking about Strong World. I got it confused with Strong World, I think. Strong World is Shiki. Shit, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah! Bro, this was worse than Strong World, I think. Yeah, I like Strong World better. I have even less for you. I still like his headphones. I do remember Baron Omatsuri. Baron Omatsuri sticks out to me in my mind so strongly. Say one nice thing about Historia Rice. I love the nuance in her character decision to do what she wants to do, which is what's expected of her, but to do it on her own terms. And do it for the right reasons. And decide... Like, it's an element of agency within the confines of of society, of the world, that I find very encouraging and sort of beautiful, despite what it might look from an aesthetic level. Say one nice thing about Tenten from Naruto. I love her voice. I love Tenten's voice. Her voice is incredibly soothing. Shiki, the horror anime, clearly mentioned. Shiki's great. Was that a top? So, protagonists who are pure or kind. Hinata Shoujo and Gon Freaks are not... They are kind, they can be kind, but they can also be quite dark. Obviously, Gon more so than Hinata. They can be very monstrous, but they're pure. They're definitely pure. Naruto, Luffy, and... Pure. Pure. Toru? Toru's good. I don't think she'd be top 5. Kaneki? TBD. Kaneki's cooking. Ichigo? But Ichigo's a bit... No, but he is kind. Ichigo's incredibly kind. Ichigo's, like, kind to a fault. Yeah, let's go Ichigo. He's... there is some purity, but he is super kind. Oh, Tenma. Tenma's great. Komugi? Yeah, but Komugi's not a protagonist. Anyways, next up. I combine these two together. This is essentially Beastars Season 1. We're talking about strong starts to a series. One that I forgot to mention is I fell in love with Beastars in 3 episodes. Beastars Season 1 is one of the best single seasons of anime, like, I've ever seen. It is so strong with the way that the themes intersect with the setting, with the character work within the confines of the systems that are imposed upon them. Yeah, the stage play. The stage play, that shit is generational and embedded in my mind. Is that episode? It's either episode 3 or 4. Where, you know, oh, that shit is so good. Oh my, it's 4? Yeah. Oh my god. It's such an amazing, unbelievable start to a story. The character work is incredible. There are like 5 or 6 characters that are unreal, and lots of a great supporting cast. And it's just one of the funnest, most immersive, atmospheric settings in Animanga to me, is the Beastars world, especially in the anime, through the aesthetics of the university campus, the black market, the music, and how it accentuates all of that. It's so, so, so good. Yeah, it's very fair, Pepino. Thank you, Hades. I don't think I'm very super good or anything, but it's just a lot of experience and practice and seeing just putting work out there and seeing what works and what sticks and what doesn't, and listening to being an honest critic of yourself. AJ Mighty. Okay. Okay. Here's a good one. Number 43, Tale of Jiraiya the Gallant. I think one of my biggest questions going forward was, how do I separate or do the pain arc? Because there are, like, the pain arc can be divided into 3 arcs. I'm like, do I put them together? Do I consider them together? Do I separate them? I decided to separate them. They're so distinct from one another to me. And here we have the Tale of Jiraiya the Gallant. I consider it a saga. I mean, yeah, I think everyone does, but for this arc specifically, it qualifies as a separate entry. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think people do consider it a saga, right? Like, I think there's a division between what people consider to be an arc and what people consider to be a saga when it comes to this part of Naruto. I think that's what people tend to do, but it's just like for the purposes of this list, it's like, you know. It's really weird. The official Naruto website considers all of them separate. Yeah, I like I said, official or wikis or whatever, it kind of depends. Sometimes I just go with that, other times I don't. Just 1 second. Let me just do one thing really quick. Okay. Yeah, I feel like if you go back and see my VOD for this, It kind of speaks for itself. Oh, sorry. Say one nice thing about Hunter x Hunter Phantom Rouge. Let me just double check that I'm not confusing it with the other one, with Last Mission. Phantom Rouge. Cool. So that has Kurapika stuff, right? I think that was adapted pretty well. Like, I like that we saw some Kurapika stuff. That was pretty cool. In a way, sorry, what? I would say the 3 pain arcs are part of a bigger saga of Naruto, but they also in and of themselves become their own mini-saga. Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of people consider it to be a saga. I think that's a pretty common thing that lots of people do. But for the purposes of this stream, when I'm comparing how contributory they are to their own series, and then comparing that to other arcs that are similarly contributory to their own series, I think combining them would be like combining Chimera Ant and Greed Island to me, which is something that other people have said they do, but I personally don't, you know? So, I don't know what to say about this arc. I actually don't know what to properly say to sum it up. Emotionally devastating, and I guess sums up it is the most meta Naruto gets, I think, in terms of its storytelling, in a way that I love. You guys know how I love when stories examine stories within and outside of the text, while all fixating on a character who I think actually starts off stronger than most people tend to think he does. I like the way the anime did it more than the manga. Either way, whatever, let's just disregard that. And one of the best mentor-student relationships in anything I've seen. And it all just culminates in a hope for the world going forward, a torch to be passed, a faith in the beauty of a happy ending. Thank you. And all in all, just equal parts devastating and beautiful. And just like an emotional storm that just leaves you... It left me so devastated. So, I don't know, I might have had to take a break. Like, it left me really, really upset. It's an unbelievable arc. And, I think it did something that I didn't really realize Naruto was capable of. And I think it's kind of unique. I don't think Tale of Jiraiya really, the stuff that it does, I don't think that it's replicated anywhere else in Naruto, nor do I think it should be. It's just super unique, super emotional, very efficient as well, very focused in what it does, and just absolutely wonderful. It's really special to me. Oh my god, Raph. The Tale of Naruto Uzumaki. Right, and then it just shines a light on our protagonist in a way that just then reflects upon what he would then go through, and makes, I think, his ascents feel a bit more powerful. So yeah, it's not like the arcs don't... Anyway, I don't need to rag on about why I'm separating them. You guys get it. To me, it wouldn't feel... I guess it all comes down to me, it wouldn't feel right to put it all together in one saga, and because of that, I'm not doing it. But I get why people do. Tsunade's betting, oh my god, destroys me. You know what? Let me change this one too. I was already debating between 41, 42, 43. And I think I want this at 41. Yeah, I think I do. I think I do. And I don't actually have a logical reason for why it goes above one of those, actually, which is fun. Thank you, Chill, for the 250 bits. Shout out to Pain for being one of the only heavily pierced characters, true, in the medium. The art of body piercing is something that's very important to me personally, and seeing it get depicted makes me very happy, and definitely contributes to him being my favorite Naruto character, even if it's by no means a focus of the character. Very much so. I never even thought about that, but yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Chill. Rate a character dynamic, Naruto and Jiraiya. Is it triple S? I think it might be. Top 5 good people that are bad parents? That's hard. Ooh. Maybe Yoshimura, yeah? Maybe Yoshimura. I don't think Samuro's a good person. Hohenheim? Yeah. Yeah, sure, let's say Hohenheim. Grisha? Sure, let's go Grisha. Gendo? No. Why was your message deleted? You can whisper a mod and they'll answer you. Claire Obscure Spoiler? I wouldn't agree with that, I don't think. I think I'd actually say... Yeah, TLDR, I don't think I'd agree. Ryuken Ishida? Logan Roy? No, Jing, I did think of Jing, but Jing to me is not a good person. I think he's a neutral person. Yeah, we said Hohenheim. Sukaroku? I probably wouldn't say Sukaroku. Oh yeah, I haven't read Dragon Ball, or watched it. Dragon? Yeah, maybe Dragon. Let's say Dragon. That's close enough. Yakuza characters? Ooh, Misato. Yeah, sure. Let's do Misato. Yes, Ultra. Yes. Top 5 bad people who are good parents? Oh. I don't actually know. Bowser? Silco? Silco, I can see why people say that. I can kind of see that. Is Silco a good parent to Jinx? Is a very nuanced, interesting question. I'll let that one go. Yeah, let's say Silco. Let's say Silco. It's close enough. Bad people who are good parents. Rize TBD. Oh, that's a cool one. Yeah. Some of these are on the fence, but let's say Oscalad, maybe? Again, I'm not saying all these people are good parents, but they're like ones that are closest I can think of. Yeah, Bowser. Kunishige? Maybe. But no, I don't think Kunishige was a good person. Remember? Sorry, a good parent. Because remember, he always has to clean up his messes. Sure, let's say Mike Aramantra. That's a good one. Silva Zoldyck? I don't think Silva Zoldyck is a good father at all, personally. I think he's quite a manipulative, really nasty father in some ways. Hey, JB. Oh, Inari from Kyoso Giga? I don't think I'd say he's a good father. I don't think. Novak? That's a good one. Let's say Novak. Do I think Rox could have been a good father? I think he could have learned to become a good father. Was that 5? I think that was 5. Okay. I was going to say Silva to Killua specifically. There are problems there, but it comes from his point of view as an assassin and how he reads the world in general. I think I can see... I agree that it comes from the way he reads the world in general, and it comes from him being tinged by the culture of his upbringing and where he... like, all that his life is defined by. So it's not like I don't think there isn't nuance there. But I still think he's a bad father, I think. I think Soph is a bad father. Okay, number 43. Another new entry, baby. The Owl Suppression arc from Tokyo Ghoul. This is one of the most insane arcs I've ever experienced. This is responsible for one of the greatest streams we've ever had last week. Last week, can you believe it? Oh my god. It thrills, it's emotional, it has you guessing and theorizing. It literally made me bug out. It made me go insane. I have never been as detached from reality as I was in last week's stream for Owl Suppression. Incredible tragedy, great, immense presentation. Immense presentation, beautiful spreads, beautiful, just really visceral presentation, and incredible dialogue. Guys, by the way, we got it. We got it. Yeah, and I think it is, to me, it is I mean, obviously, up till this point, for everyone, it's the definitive Tokyo Ghoul arc, but it felt like a potential, ooh, if this is what the series is consistently capable of, just you wait. So, like, that's what makes me really excited for Ri. Really, really excited for Ri. And it's not just, like, the payoff. Literally has some of the best build-up, like, in manga. The build-up chapters, I forget which chapters it was specifically. 120, I don't know. My god, the most devastating, unbelievable, minimalistic, rich character work, like, you're able to see. One of the, like, a spread that made me have to take a break from stream. So, I see a lot of people saying that there are 2 or 3 arcs in Tokyo Ghoul Re that are better than this. I really hope I end up agreeing. I really hope so. Yeah, it's so dense with greatness. So dense with greatness. Okay, and actually, no, you know what? Jediah the Gallant isn't 41, it's actually 42. It's not quite higher than 41. Because number 41 is 4 arcs better? I hope I think 4 arcs are better. Water 7 Saga from One Piece. I think you can make an argument that this is the... I don't know that I'd agree necessarily, but I think you can make the argument that this is the best written, most flawless saga / arc, overall saga in One Piece. With some incredible emotional highs, beautiful Usopp stuff all over the place, incredible Robin, Frankie's peak, a couple of great backstories, culminating in the Going Merry, right? The Going Merry. Lucci is a really, really great antagonist overall, but in this arc specifically. And the idea of what it means that existence isn't a crime, that permeates through everything, it's just top to bottom, Water 7 into Eni's lobby, all of it as a whole, top to bottom, incredibly well-presented, well-executed, just awesome arc with emotional highs, thematic density. It's just, I think it's Oda at his almost technical best. Almost. And it has, like, Usopp is one of my favorite characters, and it has Usopp's best material, probably. I think it's probably Usopp's best arc. So, and Robin's one of my favorite characters, and it has Robin's culmination. So, it has, I think, the most painful, probably the most painful, one of the most painful moments, which is the Usopp Straw Hat / Luffy conflict. Yeah, Water 7 is unbelievable. And yeah, I can see the argument for it being Oda's best art. Thank you, Admiral Jug, for the 7-month resub. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you. So yeah, just ahead of Jiraiya the Gallant, I think. For a lot of people, this is their favorite, and I totally get why. There are other arcs, other sequences in One Piece that I think speak more to me on a creative level. The way it all culminates just speaks to me a bit more because I find them more interesting conceptually. But this is just undeniable greatness. Undeniable greatness. Does the saga include Long Ring Long Land? Does it? It might. Is it supposed to? It should? Okay, then yeah. I don't think that really impacted much one way or another. It does officially, so it includes it, yeah. It does. I didn't at first, but I don't think that changes this. Yeah, there is a build-up into Aokiji, Robin, yeah. We're into the big 40. We're into the top 40. Number 40. Invasion. My favorite arc in Hoseki no Kuni. The Invasion arc. I think I kind of talked about how Hoseki no Kuni is, all in all, the sum of its parts, just like, it's pretty masterful to me, start to finish. It's one of the most consistent pieces of storytelling I've ever seen, with so few dips. Like, everything in Hoseki no Kuni is in the honorable mentions, but this is the peak of it, and this is at its most devastating, shocking, impactful, to see the evolution of Phos. Again, won't get into super specifics, but the evolution of Phos culminating into something so devastating. You know the line from Undertale, despite everything, it's still you? To me, this arc evokes feelings of the opposite of that. Am I still me? Have my circumstances changed me in a way that, you know, makes me unrecognizable? And how scary that thought is. It's so impactful. It's so impactful, so visceral, and so artistically beautiful in terms of the presentation as well. I think this is the peak of Hoseki no Kuni, although I'm not, like I said, the whole thing is greatness start to finish to me. And yeah, an example of a terrifying dark evolution and growth, and how growing up and going through experiences that may be difficult can make you lose parts of yourself. And sometimes that is so difficult to reconcile, and so difficult to... It's so difficult to put the pieces together, and sometimes it's impossible. And that's just what life is. That's cool, Trish. I'm glad that even though you have conflicting feelings about it, you do really enjoy this and think it's really good. Because to me, I think this is something that, as long as you have like some positive feelings towards Hoseki no Kuni, this is probably an arc that should be pretty impactful. And it's so real and reflective of some of the elements of life that are just you're unable to reconcile with them. Some ugly truths, some dark truths, you know? I got you, Trish. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's Foss maybe at their most raw. It's devastating. It's so impactful. I have a stopping point, Tommen. We're almost at the halfway mark. Number 39. I feel like this will be a short one, because I don't think some of you are sleeping on this series, but... Oh, whoops. The Zuiun Prize from Akane Banashi, currently ongoing still, I believe? The peak of Akane Banashi's artistry, narratively, artistically, this incredible character culmination that is, and view of what art and performance is in some of the most visceral, creative ways of presenting a manga are in this arc. If you are not on Akane Banashi, if you like Rakugo, if you like shonen, if you like very shonen aesthetic elements and themes, but if you told in a way that reflects upon stories, please get on this if you haven't already. If you haven't already, you haven't been listening to me, and you should. Read it, please. This, I mean, look how high it is. 39. What's up, Paladin? This is only Animanga, Quasian, so no visual novel. Not even the manga adaptation. This series just goes through some peaks that are just so incredible. Like, it blows my mind how character evolution is portrayed here, how artistry is portrayed here, how, like, being in the zone of your craft is portrayed. And purely for the storytelling is brilliant, as it always is in this manga, but purely through the way it's presented, it goes this high for me. It's just an encapsulation of art and reaching excellence and some of the sacrifices associated with that, but also the beauty of it and adversarial dynamics associated with that. And it's so shonen, but also so Rakugo. Oh, that's amazing, Dave. Oh, that's amazing. Yes, and also, True Strange, there is a antagonistic-protagonistic mentor-student dynamic in Akane Banashi that, like, if you love that sort of thing from Haikyuu, like Washijo Hinata, for example, or or if you like Whiplash, the movie, ooh, this has something for you, man. My top two characters shine beautifully in this arc. And, yeah. I don't know, Damn Danny. Maybe it's just not for you. For me, I love the performing part, and it's so essential to Rakugo stories that I can't imagine it without it, so maybe it's just not your thing, and that's okay. I never ever had any issues getting into the performance aspect. I think it's one of the most interesting parts of it, and entertaining parts of it. Yeah. Akane Banashi, unreal. No, I get that, Danny. I get that for sure. I don't relate, but I understand. And it's such an essential part of it that it's a shame to maybe think it might not be your thing. For that, when you do appreciate the artistry, I don't know, maybe just put it off, come back to it in a year. You'll be more, maybe you'll be able to connect with him more. Indeed, Ash. It is indeed. And I love that one of Shonen Jump's... I just love that one of Shonen Jump's best characters ongoing right now is... is just everything that Akane deserves to be one of the premier spearheads of Shonen Jump this current era, for so many reasons. Okay. The next bunch is... The next bunch is, Number 38. Shibuya Incident from Jujutsu Kaisen. You are my special. I have RC, yeah. I've seen it. People linked it to me, I think? Yeah, people did link it to me. Me too, Strange. That's one of my favorite things about it. I think I pretty much put out videos about Shibuya through my videos on Nanami, Yuji, and Mahito. See, the thing is, Shibuya is just, I think, in a kind of Kubo-esque way, a really beautiful instance of pure shonen celebration. While at the same time being so devastatingly self-aware and meta with regards to the tragedy, all the tragedy and bloodshed that happens within it, and how it reflects that upon Yuji to dare him to despair. It is so ingenious in how it does that, while being incredibly thrilling. You know, the bow from Sukuna as he revels in literally leveling a city. That is beyond words, right? That is beyond words. The encapsulation of Nanami as a character, all the sacrifices, what happens, all the stuff that happens with Gojo, Yuji versus Mahito being the culmination, and how Todo is this ray of light that helps to remind Yuji about what death means, how you should take in death, how it is in some ways selfish and misrepresentative to view the wills that people pass on as burdens to compensate for. And how Mahito is the perfect antithesis to the series. Sukuna runs riot. Like, there is so much I love about Shibuya. It is the perfect follow-up to and connector between Culling Games and Hidden Inventory. I think this is where JJK kind of had a rise into greatness in terms of public perception. When it was first releasing, people were all over this. People were loving this. We are the exception, right? Oh my god, Toto. So yeah, it is special. And the anime really elevated it. Not a lot. I don't think the anime elevated it a huge amount, but it maybe like 10 spots, 15, maybe even 15 spots at a push. The anime adaptation, despite being done in horrific conditions, of course, I'm always gonna acknowledge that, but the product they came out with, in spite of that, is like, it's one of my favorite shonen adaptations ever, which feels like a miracle. It is a big rise, 10 to 15, but the gap between each entry is so small. You know what I mean, Ziggy? A lot of dominoes falling, right, yeah. After setting them up right. Like, it all comes crashing down. Adaptation-wise, it's number 1. I think Hidden Inventory is slightly better and more polished, but Shibuya's right there with it. And I can't wait for Culling Games, yeah, I cannot wait. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree, Ash. It crystallizes a lot of the feelings I had, and maybe portrays them in ways I hadn't thought of, or, you know, it's really special. It's a really special adaptation. Do I think the anime has a good chance of putting Culling Games over Shibuya? I wouldn't say a good chance, but I'm sure the anime is, I'm certain, going to elevate Culling Games, so it's not impossible. I'd recommend checking out my videos on The Wire for that refreshing. The production issues behind the scenes did hold back Shibuya a significant amount as a whole. Yeah, there are some rough episodes for sure. There are some lows, but as a whole, I do think I disagree. Could it have been better? Yeah, but I can't say when experiencing it I ever thought like, damn, I wish this was better. I just kind of took in what I got and like was so shocked at how much it spoke to me. Yeah, you get what... Yeah, I'm with you, Drunk Eldian. Number 37. I didn't look at the Blu-ray corrections, but I heard that they did correct some stuff. That they did help. Got minutes? Oh, I didn't know that. See ya, D. I'm glad you enjoyed. See you tomorrow. Yeah, we'll finish this. Number 37. I still haven't seen the Blu-ray, yeah. I should. I really should. Oh, I love the opening insert for that, Tommen. I think it's deliciously cruel, like it's laughing at Yuji. I love how they insert the OP. I get why it's not to everyone's taste, but I love it. Number 37, the Murder Incident Solution arc for Beastars. This is Season 2. To me, this is the peak of Beastars, very slightly over Season 1 in terms of narrative material. I think the adaptation for Season 1 is better than Season 2, but overall, I think Season 2 is very slightly better. Riz is the perfect antagonist for this point of Legoshi's journey. Love what it does for Louis and Legoshi's dynamic. I love how the setting evolves and gets darker, and I love the twisted element of how love is conflated with consumption and hunger, and a romance is conflated with that, and a beauty, and how that interacts with the, I guess, really poor state of cast-off carnivores who are in Riz's situation. It made it difficult to immerse into Yuji's point of view. I think that's part of why I enjoy it. The detachment, the way it points and laughs at him. But again, I get why it's not for everyone. Yeah, this is pure greatness. This is pure greatness. No Tokyo Ghoul, it's right there. We did it 20, 30 minutes ago. Number 43. Yeah, I still need to make I still promised a video on Season 2. I'll do it someday, probably. But this is, to me, the peak of Beastars. And I'm actually thinking... We should probably... Oh... I think this might be the last one. The next one might be the last one for today, because that's exactly halfway. And it actually closes out the tier. So, let me just give a disclaimer. And we'll finish the rest tomorrow. Want to end it on a bet? I can't. There's only one left. How many tiers? These are split into 4 tiers. See ya, Jay. See you tomorrow. So let me do a disclaimer for this one. There are things in this arc that are really, really bad. There are things that I really, really dislike. Nonetheless, this is my 36th favorite arc. And I think it is fantastic. I think it is... Somehow, it doesn't work in my... At first, it didn't work in my mind that it was this high. But I've come to realize that it is. A couple of you guessed it. Shinjuku Showdown Jujutsu Kaisen. There's some shit in this arc that I really dislike. I think is really bad. But it also has the best stuff in the series for me. Some stuff that's made me, upon reading it, be like, I am transcending. I made immediately 2 videos about, like, I literally twice in the series, I read 236 and 660 something? 665 maybe? Immediately read 2 chapters in this series. I love you, baby. Thank you so much. Where it was so good that I had to immediately record a video twice. That it takes a lot for me to want to do that. And they're both on my channel, and they're both from this arc. I think my 2 favorite chapters in all of Jujutsu Kaisen are in this. And just as a full body of work, the macro and most of the micro is absolutely stunning to me. It is unbelievable. And what it makes me think about with regards to, again, won't spoil stuff, but with regards to specifically the character, the dynamic of Gojo and Sukuna, and the dynamic of Yuji and Sukuna, and generally what it does with Sukuna, like overall, was my top 3 characters flourish in this stuff so beautifully. There are decisions in this that alienate a lot of people. There are decisions made that Gege just did something that is so fucking insane that people hate it. People dropped the series for it, or like said, you know what, the series is not for me anymore. I used to be a fan, not anymore. And I get it at times. I feel that some decisions made are quite bad. I still really don't like one character conclusion. But Takaba? Kenjaku won't say much more than that, but that is the type of genius that only an insane person could do, could execute. That is transcendent genius. Those chapters, what it does with those three characters, Gojo, Yuji, Sukuna, Takaba, Kenjaku, there is transcendent genius in this arc that, to me, puts it above, despite a lot of flaws and and sometimes big disappointments of certain character arcs and where they ended up, despite how consistent I find Shibuya and how basically perfect I find Hidden Inventory, puts it above them. It's just what feels right. Don't cry, it'll ruin the mood. So good. So good. Oh my god. Thank you, Chill, for the 250 bits. I have not checked out Modulo. I might do that on stream, but I'm waiting for it to stack a lot. It was funny. I'm sorry, bruh. The flaws bring it down a lot for me. No need to be sorry. Everyone has different tastes. I totally get it. Like I said, there's lots of problems in this arc. And at first, I put it here, and I'm like, this feels wrong. It's above Water 7, Tale of Jiraiya. It's above even, like, Shibuya. It's above, you know, Fantasia. This feels wrong at first, but then I really examined it. This is the placing I think I thought about the most. And I came to realize that, yeah, this is how I truly feel. The highs of it are so transcendent. Oh no.